Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the party. Actually, to our game of Blades in the Dark. Welcome to the party is a group of fabulous people online who like to game together and talk together. We have some sponsors that you may want to check out. Tabletop Loot makes awesome dice and stuff. So Nerdware is our official merch sponsor, and they have a really dope fucking slogan that Throck knows by heart. Throck, can you go ahead and give us that slogan? Oh, that's not it.
No,
almost.
No, I'm sorry. It was clearing my throat and preparing. It's so nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear.
Smooth like butter.
Smooth
If
like
you use
butter.
if you use the code WELCOME, you get 10% off your next purchase on So Nerdware. So check it out. RueInc.com is another awesome supporter. She creates Devin Rue creates awesome fantasy maps. You should check out her work. And Roll20 is one of our sponsors as well. Roll20 is awesome if you're looking to get into like gaming with your friends online because it organizes all of your shit for you, kind of, and it's pretty great. Just check it out. Check it out. Trust me, it's pretty good. So that's that. And Welcome to the Party has like a Discord and a Patreon, and you should look that up. The Discord is a cool place to meet people and play games and stuff. So. But you were here to watch us play Blades in the Dark. I think you might be here because you got lost. I don't know, and I don't care. But we're going to play Blades in the Dark regardless, so you can watch us if you want. So here's how this is going to work. Blades in the Dark is an RPG that is based in the worst world ever, where the sun is gone, the seas are black, there's leviathans in there, there's hungry cannibal ghosts just wandering around, and the last vestiges of humanity are locked behind giant lightning walls in the really shitty cities because they're super overpopulated and kind of have a Victorian feel to them. And our party plays a group of criminals, scoundrels and scallywags, working their way up through the criminal underworld, just trying to make a living and make a name for themselves. But this city is terrible and fraught with dangers. So, speaking of which, our criminals, let us go around the room and introduce them. Let's start with Death by Mage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet, and I will be playing Victor, the Leech.
The Leech, our little technician, bomb maker. He does other things, but bombs it's like his bread and butter. It is. Crystal.
Hello, people. My name is Crystal Fear, and I will be playing Ebony, the Whisper.
Whisper and Ghost Ass Whooper. And Bisonic.
Hello, my name is Bisonic Kevin on the tweeters, and I am going to play Sparrow, a lurk, who's a sneak thief.
Sneak thief in the night. And Throck.
Hello, Governor. My name's Nigel, and I'm here to play Drop Point Nigel. You can find me on the Twitters at Nigel, and I play a Nigel.
It's true. We are playing the game of Nigels today, so prepare yourselves.
Sorry, I actually forgot to change the Drop Point Knights back to Drop Point Knights from Drop Point Nigels.
Does it still say Drop Point Nigels?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, good. The shenanigans. And Kay.
Hey, I'm Kate, also known as Undead Kay on the internet. And I will be playing Scarlet the Hound.
The Hound. Manhunter. So, Throck, did you actually want to introduce yourself, or did you want to stay with the Nigel?
My name's
I like
Sean.
the Nigel.
I play Grimalkin. Grimalkin is the spider. He is the plaid maker and essentially buffer of the party.
Buffer and main fighter next to
No,
Scarlet,
Scarlet's the main fighter.
Yeah, she does get into more fights, yeah. All right. Well then, gang, last we left off, I do believe you guys had a job to try to get rid of the fact that you were wanted by the police. And in order to do that, you figured, why not go back to the mimes? The mimes, this is kind of their business, is to get heat of all kinds off of people and hide people. So when you went back to the mimes, you got a job from them to go and steal a bowl. seemed pretty easy. Unfortunately, it was a bowl belonging to a witch. So a lot of planning, actually. I think more planning went into this one than was any of the other ones, but it turned out for the better because the plan pretty much went off without a hitch. You guys had almost no problems whatsoever because you just rolled really well, made really good decisions, and weren't stupid in a witch's house and touching everything. Which I really was hoping Grimalkin would get in that house, and was really hoping he'd just start ransacking it.
That was my
boy,
plan.
Howdy, was I ready to lay down some curses like a motherfucker. Your skin starts turning blue, huh? It's better than dye packs. But you guys went in like professionals. You took exactly what you needed, and still got some money out of it because Grimalkin was able to legitimately sell magical items to the witch who you were stealing from, which turned out for the better because then you got money out of her and you stole from her, which is a double whammy. At the end of the job, during that job, Sparrow went into the basement of the witch's house and found a large man named Frank, who seemed to be a bit of a strange man. I'm hearing. Is anybody else getting an echo?
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So
The goddamn cat ripped my headphones out.
Okay.
Not just of my ears, but of the port. So it started coming out through the stereo. Apologies.
The worst pets.
The worst.
The worst. So Sparrow met a strange man named Frank, who was very helpful and very kind, and a simple man down in the basement of the witch, and just kind of had like a nice chat. And then left and found out that there is a horror that lives in the tunnels underneath the witch's house. And Scarlet got a weird tip from the witch saying that she may be being stalked by something called a hybrid. She's unclear what that means, but the witch said, "Come and talk to me sometime. We can discuss it." And I believe Ebony and Victor were making it out of the house. Peachy Keen, yes, Throck?
I have a question about the hybrid.
Yes.
Is it like an amalgamation of just normal people? Like, would it be fair to describe it as something like an everyman hybrid?
It is
Don't
both
do that.
gas and electric.
Oh my god.
Don't do that. I genuinely didn't see where you were going with that. I'm pleasantly surprised. I would say no, but you will see what a hybrid is. I can promise you, though, they are wholly unpleasant. Ebony and Victor were able to steal the bowl without a hitch, but Victor, as part of the plan, stayed behind as he had to already show his face and meet the witch. There had to be essentially like a fall guy, and he did, in fact, get knocked out and fell down, and you guys sprayed her home with a bunch of Axe body spray in an attempt to frame Brad, who is the neighbor that she fucking hates, who lives in the apartment complex up like near her house up a few floors. So I believe we left off with the witch coming back home, capturing or arriving in the home with Victor, helping him up, seeing if he was all right, and then seating him down and shutting all the doors and windows and saying, "Oh, something's been stolen." And now witches are powerful, and they have like powers and stuff, and they can do stuff. They're still people at the end of the day, but if there's anybody that's good at hurting you and kind of not really leaving a mark, it's them. They're really good at it. So that's probably what's going through Victor's mind at that point. But I think we will not open up there, but we'll open up instead with our gang, our group. Would you guys have met up after the job? Would you guys have done anything now that I assume you would have, Ebony, you would have just beelined it once you got the bowl as fast as you could out of there? And do you bring it straight to the mimes by yourself? Do you meet up with Grimalkin and Sparrow? Do you guys all meet at the bar and eat soup out of the bowl for fun? No, don't eat out of that bowl.
No. No, I think I would have taken it straight to the mimes.
Okay, yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do. You arrive at the abandoned Tabernacle Theater. You're let in. Bozo is still up on the stage, and he is directing people. Now there is a whole bunch of fake fire on one side, a whole bunch of fake clouds on the other side, and what appears to be a sun that's like hanging, and there's a mime on top of it who just seems to be like really nervous, and he's like, swing around more, and he's like, he starts swinging, and one of the ropes breaks, and the mime falls to this horrible, sickening thud onto the stage, and he goes, oh, we're going to have to fix that, and he whips around, just knowing that you're behind him, that you're approaching, and he goes,
Hi. I got your bowl.
where are the other ones?
They're not here.
Good, don't care. Thank you. And he like very theatrically makes his way off the stage and accepts the bowl, grasps it in his hands and takes it. Well then, consider the cops no longer your issue.
Wonderful.
I will have to say though, I do believe that you may have a bit of, I don't want to say trouble, but a friendly word of advice that when you go, I would go back to your home, wherever that may be. There's someone
All
waiting for you.
right. Lovely.
Yes. All right, goodbye.
Thank you.
We got it, guys. And you hear the one on the stage go, oh, and he goes, shut your mouth. And makes his way off the stage. So, wait, are you guys all going to meet at the bar, or do you have a separate meeting spot, like the school instead?
I don't think we'd know not to meet at the bar. So my assumption would be that is where I would head first.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to show up at the bar until Victor's out.
Okay. And Scarlett, did you also want to go and make sure that Victor is okie dokie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do you in a second. Let me hit them. So it will just be Grimalkin and Ebony arriving at the bar. That is actually perfect. That's excellent. So Grimalkin, you arrive at the bar at the same time that Ebony probably rolls up in a carriage that you use to steal stuff. And there is a lot of revelry going on in the bar. It sounds like a lot of drinking in there. It hasn't sounded like this since you killed the old owner and took over. Basically, not chasing the billhooks out, but turning it less into like a billhook bar and more into just your own establishment.
They said we could have it.
No, yeah, they did. But this sounds like the rambunctiousness of billhooks again. How do you approach this?
I poke my head in the door.
So you see that it is, in fact, there's a bunch of billhooks in here, and they're all drinking, they're all laughing. Chud is sitting there with one arm all bandaged up like in a sling. It's pretty badly broken. It's probably going to take a while to heal.
Why does everybody hurt him?
Because he's convenient and he's there. But he's sitting there just kind of talking to them, hanging out. Oh no, this was from before. This was from after his arm already broke.
Okay.
Because the demon did it. It was a demon.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he's hanging out, talking. There's a bunch of people, and amidst all of these people, you recognize, because you've seen him once before, one of Groon's goons, the 3 massive bodyguards that protect Frank Groon, the leader of the Billhooks, the leader of one of the gangs, the leader of the only gang that really knows that you live here. And he is sitting there drinking a shit ton, but doesn't seem to be bothered by it, as he's gargantuan. And he has a large, like, bag next to him, like nice big, like almost like a bowling bag, kind of like a nice big leather bag. And he's sitting there, and he kind of turns his head and goes, "Oh, you two, come on over here."
Well, this should be interesting.
Indeed.
So he approaches. Oh, sorry, just grabbed my phone. And he goes, "My name is Drew.
Yes.
And I
Hello,
was
Drew.
sent here to give you something."
All right.
Oh, what is it?
"This is from Frank Groom.
Yes.
He said, give it directly to him. It's a gift. And he did this with his fingers."
Jeez.
Do you not take
No.
You take it?
Take
Kind
it
of heavy.
because it's a
Kind of
head.
heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a head.
It's a head.
Do you want to open it?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it and look at the head that's obviously in this bag.
So, Grimalkin, you open it, and immediately you do see hair
Yeah,
and a severed neck.
because it's a
Now,
head.
is Grimalkin the kind of person that has the stomach to do this? Or is he like, oh god, someone else look?
No,
How does
I
this-
think he'd have the stomach
Or
to
is
do
he
it.
just... Okay, so
I don't pull it out. I just roll it over.
you kind of roll it, and you are looking at the face of Darren Vance, the investigator who is looking into you.
Yeah.
Severed at
No
the
pants,
neck.
Vance.
No pants Vance. He is dead as hell, and there seems to be a note in his mouth.
Yoink.
You pull it out, it's soaked in blood and
Sure.
it's gross, but you can still make out the scratchy handwriting of Frank Grun, who it's a very simple letter. Heard you caught a big fish and let it go. Not pleased, in all caps underlined. 1 week to kill John Irons, or your head is next.
Well, thank you for the note.
You're welcome. I like your bar.
Are you going to be here until such time as I fulfill the requirements of this note? Is that the expectation?
I'm told to keep an eye on you, and if you try anything funny, I'm supposed to gut you from nuts to neck.
Well, first, I don't think you could. But second, I'm glad to know that you're honest about it.
I'm pretty good at it.
I believe you are. All right, shall we go upstairs and talk about this, Ebony?
Sure.
Not you.
Not
Right.
you.
He goes back to the bar and sits down. He's supposed to keep an eye on you, but he is drinking and having more fun doing this. And the bar is full of, you assume, his men,
Bill
Bill
hooks,
hooks,
yeah.
that are just kind of partying. They're all kind of eyeing you up as you walk by, but they don't give a shit.
Once I just want to have the ability to do a clean job and get money for it. Why is it so hard?
You're asking me.
Ooh, your microphone is all whammy jammy.
No, why?
I don't know. It's terrible, though.
Okay.
It sounds
you
like
may
you're...
need to stop and restart voice meter if you're running voice meter.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Okay,
an
well-
audio codec issue.
Go ahead and do that. We will jump to the other crew while you guys handle that. So, bam, you guys. Here's where we are going to start. I want first to start. Let's just start with Victor right off the bat. Victor, you're sitting in a chair. You're not tied up. You're not bound. You're not threatened by it at knife point. It smells nice in here. No, it doesn't. It smells like Axe body spray. But
Yeah.
she's being very nice. It's like a homey sort of environment. But she slammed all the doors and shutters shut, and all the candles kind of went out, and it's spooky. And she's just sitting across from you. Please explain yourself.
Well, I was doing job, and then one of the others up in the apartment next door came asking for an emergency, and next thing I know, I got hit in the head.
So you said this man came in? He came in
Yes.
to my home? Uninvited. You did not allow him in?
I did not.
I did not. What? I did not hit her. I did not. What did he look like? Did you ever
brownish
get a look
hair.
at Brad?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
worked in that apartment.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you probably made sure.
I
to
intentionally
see
worked there, so I can find a person who I
frame.
can completely.
Okay.
So, like, yes, he has brown hair, has kind of a scruff on him. I think he's from the 3rd floor of the building next door.
Sorry. Well, let's go have a chat with him then, shall we? Come on, up. Oh, I know. It's terrible. Here, have some tea. And she gives you a cup of tea. And goes, your head will be feeling right as rain. But she puts her hand on your back and starts walking you. Like, you're coming with me to go talk to Brad.
Oh boy.
So she just flicks her hand, and the door swings open into the still darkness outside, because everything is just dark in this world. Opens it and then goes, well then, shall we? And start walking down. Sparrow and Scarlet, where are you guys? I assume you guys know where each other are, but how have you planned this? You have the big apartment complex right there. You probably already know that you have planted the evidence that Brad is the one in charge. You're seeing her walking Victor out and towards the apartment complex. Do you guys choose to be in the apartment complex? Do you choose to be across the street? How do you guys want to play this? Do you want to shoot her in the head? How do you want to just end this real quick? What's your plot? What's your plan?
Thinking one across the street, one in the apartment complex. What do you think? Like,
It'd make more sense if you were across the street and I was in the apartment complex.
Sounds good.
Okay. Very cool. So then.
Or would it? No, it would make more sense if you were in the apartment complex and I was across the street. No, wait.
How about this? There is like a fire escape. One of you can be literally outside on the fire escape right next to Brad's window where you know that they're going to go. And the other one could be like in the apartment right across. You know what I mean? Like you could it's full of empty apartments. Like, whatever. You could have bought it out, give somebody a coin and take their apartment for the day. It's Dunslow. You know what I mean? People are desperate for money.
No.
No?
I mean, I'm not going to spend a coin on that. I'm going
to... it didn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm giving you the option. Do you want to be in a vacant apartment right across from Brad's? Do you want to be outside of his fire escape? Do you want to be in the walls? You know what I mean? Like, where do you want to be planted for this?
I'll be on the 4th floor fire escape above Brad's.
Cool. Oh, I like that. And Scarlet?
If you want to be across the street.
Yeah, across the street. Ooh, what's that?
I don't know.
Oh,
all right. So, okay. So then, Scarlet, you are across the street, and Sparrow is in. So as Scarlet, you watch them walking Victor in. Are you up on a building to get a vantage point?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cool. Okay. Then up they go. So, Victor, you are walked up to where Brad's apartment is. You can smell the axe from here. And as you guys make your approach, you are at his door. Is there anything that you want to? Is there anything that you want to try to dissuade her from doing this, or try to bolt and run, or just let this happen?
Before we go in, is there anything I should know as to why Brad hit me on the head?
I'm assuming it's because he wanted to steal my bowl.
What bowl?
Don't worry about it. There's an item that's missing. And she knocks on the door.
May I have a flashback?
Yes.
Earlier in the day, Brad opens the door.
Okay, so we see the knock, and Brad opens the door, but it's a different time of day.
And Sparrow's standing there.
Night. The time of night.
And who does Sparrow not like? Sparrow doesn't like the bill hooks.
At this point, I also don't like the bill hooks.
Well, Sparrow doesn't hate the bill hooks enough to frame them for something. Doesn't like the iron biters.
I like the iron biters more than I like the bill hooks.
Not super familiar with the roaches?
Yeah, I don't know the roaches yet.
This is their territory.
Yeah.
Oh, it is their territory.
But it is their territory.
And they did try to kill you, Scarlet.
I will spend a coin to give Brad 1 coin's worth of drugs.
What's the catch, man?
For your service. You know what you did.
I mean, yeah, sure. You want to go out back and knock some boots?
I just walk away.
So that's a maybe. so he is gonna be just high as fuck in his apartment.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Mark the stress.
How much stress? 1 or 2? 1.
That's just one.
And I'll spend a coin on drugs.
Sure, spend a coin on drugs that you bought from the bill hooks, because that's one of their big things.
Okay.
So it's gonna be bill hook drugs that he gets high on. So knocks on the door. The door does not open. Instead, Victor, you hear inside, boy, and she goes, "You're a handyman. Can you open this door for me?"
Sure. Give me a moment.
Thank you.
And Victor's gonna take the slow approach of disarming the door.
Okay, go ahead and roll your tinker. Are you purposely trying not to be able to open it, or are you just taking a long time?
I'm trying not to showcase. I'm just showcasing the fact that I am a normal, average, everyday handyman who doesn't normally typically do this on a daily basis.
So while Victor is sitting there, you can still roll the. I don't even have to. We can say that you can just do it. I mean, it's a normal door.
Okay.
This is like your shit if you don't want to roll for it. While Victor is like, okay, here I go, taking a nice long time. Scarlett, you are across the street, and I can't remember. Are you on a roof or on the street, or in the building across the street?
As of right now, on the roof.
Okay,
so
cool.
I can have advantage.
That's where you like to be. While you are sitting there, just kind of watching, you swat away a fly, sit there, swat away another one, swat away another one. And is there something fucking dead up here? Like, there's flies that just keep bothering you. And while you're just like, what the fuck? You kind of step back, and you, as you look, you see that there's a bunch of them just kind of like crawling around on this rooftop as you're just sort of looking. Now, there is a doorway that leads to the roof, and it looks like there's a bunch of flies crawling out from underneath the crack of the door. The door leads to the rest of the building. It's great. Not sure what the fuck that means.
I'm going to make a face and check it out.
Okay, so you... And you go over. Are we kicking the door down? Are we opening it slow? Are we listening?
Listen first and then.
So
open.
You put your ear to the door and you hear like just a bunch of what sounds like flies.
Are there any notable smells like?
Yes, a pungent, disgusting smell of like putrefaction, kind of just like rot.
So probably, yeah. Okay, you know what?
Disgusting, whatever it is.
Yep, I'm gonna open the door, but slowly.
So you slowly start opening the door, and you see what appears to be a man's body laying on the stairwell, kind of propped up like this. His chest cavity is open, and there it is riddled with bugs of all sorts, flies and maggots and things. It is horrific. The smell is ungodly, and he is covered in this sort of like goo on his body that's just in like different places, just kind of sticking on him. And it is just horrendous. And you hear from behind you, pulled up the building very quietly, and you hear, "You don't have a lot of time." And you turn to see a man in a large cloak with a hood over his head. You've seen this man before. Kind of big, bulging. You saw him on a rooftop earlier, watching you when you were looking at the lacrimose. It was a man in bulging goggles, looks like he was missing a few fingers, and he was watching you from the rooftop. Well, what you can see now is that he's not missing a few fingers, he only has 3. You also see that he's not wearing bulging goggles. Those are his eyes. They are massive and like multifaceted, like a fly's eyes. And you can see that his mouth, like this portion of his cheeks are gone. And it's kind of like it's supposed to be that way. Like the skin didn't look ripped. It just looks like that with a slit here. There's no teeth in the front. And instead, every once in a while, what flicks out is this sort of spiked appendage that comes from his mouth.
Proboscis.
And a proboscis, thank you. And as he looks at you, he kind of like, you know, is moving ever so slightly, and you can see he pulls back his hood, and he has a small smooth bald head, Jesus, and there are like these weird hairs coming off of his head, and you're like, those are the fucking hairs that you saw in your fucking window. This is the fucking thing that dropped your fucking shoes off, because those are the same weird doogly hairs that you found on your window when your shoes were returned to you. And it's just, it's I mean, maybe 5 feet away from you. Like, it got fucking up there. It got up the building and crawled to you and is saying, you haven't got much time.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna try. I've got the climbing gear. I'm gonna try to, depending on how I'm gonna try to jump to the next building over. If I land in a dumpster, it's fine.
So you're just like, fuck this. You start running. We'll come back to you in a moment. Sparrow, you're just outside the window, right, waiting for the shit to go down. Okay. I say let's cut back to you guys at the bar. Crystal, let's hear your voice. Is it fixed?
Am I fixed?
Yes, you are fixed.
Yay!
Was there anything you guys wanted to discuss? You have just been told that you must kill John Irons within a week because you had kind of promised to help him bring down the Iron Biters.
Well,
Nothing?
Well, fuck.
yeah. Well, here's my problem.
Do we cut back? Like, well, fuck, and then we
Yeah,
cut
no,
back.
like-
go on.
I feel like perhaps our play is to tell John Irons why we were doing
Indeed.
this, and then ensure that John Irons becomes our new protector. We don't really need this place anymore. And this is,
True.
their only connection with us is through here. So if we just stop being here, we have holdings throughout the city. We are developing more. We don't need to worry about this. We can tell John, and he seems to have a liking for you. So perhaps we should go do that quickly.
I'm actually all right with that.
Yes. Or if we don't, then we have to try and kill John Irons after doing something very nice for him, and that feels terrible.
Let's not do that.
Yes. I would wait for everyone else, but this feels like we should make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I think talking to John in a smaller group would probably be best anyway.
Yes, I agree. We're bringing the head, and we're not going out the front door.
Yeah.
I am going to dress us up to not look like us.
There is another way out of this apartment.
Well, we have hidden tunnels.
You do have hidden tunnels. I was going to maybe suggest if Evany wanted to, since she witnessed Tubukchuk's spirit exiting from this apartment via a spectral door. When he simply vanished, he opened a door that you could not see. It is up to you.
Yeah.
Ghost doors can be dangerous, but if you think that you can cleverly get out of here via the tunnels, a more traditional route, then you can. But just do remember that his job was to watch you. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Also, we
Yeah.
do have the Ghost Echoes
Drew.
perk for the crew, so we
Drew.
can all see and interact with the ghost field. So
Yes.
Yeah.
hopefully that'll reduce the risk as well. I think the ghost door idea is even better.
If you
like
guys
it.
want to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
They can be risky, but I mean, Chuck went right in there, and he's kind of a sort of a coward, so you guys might be okay. But yeah. So is that how you want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have this ghost key. You
Yes.
know where he went through, and when you pull out the ghost key, it almost like hums a little bit in your hand. Like you can hear it drop.
I'm
I'll say
sorry,
you probably-
what?
It almost like hums a little bit
Okay.
in your hand. What did you? Oh. Ooh. So, Grimulkin, you can't really hear this, but because you are holding it, Ebony, you can. And it's sort of like, it's almost like a Geiger counter where it's like, and then it doesn't make any noise. So it can sort of sense where these like keyholes are for that it can open. And as you sort of approach, just sort of stick it into the air, and sure enough, half of it like disappears, and there's sort of this faint icy blue glow that comes from a keyhole that was not there. And as you turn it, it feels strange and unnatural. The key becomes very cold, and when you turn it, the door itself like kind of opens. You are basically opening a door in air. And the door becomes tangible in a way to you. It becomes ghostly, and it is this looks like this big old wooden door that used to be here. And as you open it, you can see what kind of slides across the apartment that you're in now. It looks like it cuts it right in half because the entrance is right here. Are these walls, and as the walls kind of rise up, you see that they go all the way around you. This is not a front door. This is a door to a room or a hallway. You are inside of something. And it is bizarre to see because you're still standing in the apartment, but this ghostly building is almost building itself around you. Like it is remembering itself as you are opening it and interacting with it. And you open it and look to, when you open the inside of it, it is no longer the apartment that you see past this door. Now it looks like this old building. A long sort of hallway, a couple of doors on the right side, smooth on the left. Not sure, it goes into darkness, but go in.
This is your deal, darling. I'm going to follow you.
All right.
As you guys exit and shut the door behind you, we see the bar where Drew is like, I'm good at this. And we will come back to Victor. Victor, you have opened the door. You have stalled for as long as you can. You open the door, and the smell is intense of Axe body spray. And inside is Brad lounging on the couch, just yep. And he's just like fucked beyond belief. He has a bunch of drugs. He's taken many of drugs. And I would say, I don't know, he has whatever is probably akin to like heroin or something in it right now. And so Fessia Toll enters the apartment without delay. Oh no, everybody froze for me.
Oh no.
No,
All right, I'm back.
fine.
Whew. Okay. Fessia Toll just enters, very like, and she, thank you, and enters the apartment and walks right up to him and just kind of stares at him. She goes, would you shut the door for me, Victor? Oh, did you said your name was Victor to her?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay.
And
Well,
have a
was
seat
the
if you
door?
would, Victor.
Sure.
So then, Brad, I'm going to need you to focus. And she looks around and she walks over to his sink, turns the crank, and the water works because you were fixing it. And as it, she goes, well, that's surprising, and shuts it. And she takes some, what looks like these little stones out from her pocket and places them in the water and just kind of stands there for a minute awkwardly. And there's this awkward silence between all of you as she just sits there. It's a beautiful night, isn't it, Victor?
Yes.
Yes. Well then, Brad. And she forces Brad to drink this water. The stones stick to the bottom of the glass and do not go into his mouth. And after she's done, she simply pops them out into her pocket. And he kind of wakes up and goes, "Oh man, what's going on?" And just starts puking a shit ton. And is like, oh God, that's the worst. That is the fucking worst. Holy shit. She basically just forced all of this, like, it's almost like viscous black kind of goo to come out of his body. And she goes, that is excellent. Now then, Victor, would you please tell Brad what you told me?
So, yes. So you came to see me about a running leak, and then next thing I know, I get hit on the head.
What? What the hell are you even talking about? I didn't do that. Really? Because it looked like you were high as a fucking kite. So maybe, was he on drugs when he did this, Victor?
I couldn't tell.
Because I have what looks to be a real couple of party starters here. Now, are you doing this for the last few hours? Well, I mean, no, I just started. Really? Because the amount that you puked up says that you've been doing this for the last few hours. Now, if I'm not mistaken, drugs usually make people a bit strange, don't they, Victor?
Yes, I've seen some people act very strange before.
Very strange. Isn't that terrible? So perhaps you thought in your stupor that you would steal from me. Is that it, Brad? You know what? Fuck you. You're like the worst. You are awful. I hate everything about you. Okay. That's good. This is good. This is what I expected. I'm going to need that bowl back. I don't have a bowl. I don't know what you're talking about. You can take one of my cereal bowls. That's for you if you'd like. And she goes, Very well. There's not much of worth here. Victor, could you go into his bedroom and find me something that looks important?
Anything particular?
Anything that looks a bit more expensive than this trash that he has lying around. Just bring me that.
Okay.
Lucky underwear.
Don't touch my lucky underwear. Oh, that's good. Look for his lucky underwear if you could, please.
Okay.
What color is it, Brad? I'm not telling you what color is it, Brad. They're blue.
So Victor's gonna go into the bedroom. He's gonna get like a rag and gingerly like find the lucky underwear.
What you also see, Victor, in this room is you do see what appears to be it looks like there is like a woman once lived here. That their stuff is a little kind of like dusty and like obviously not moved, but it looks like there's a bunch of powder for like face and stuff. There's like a whole container of it. Obviously you would use like a little bit and everything, but there's like a big container of it. There is a small music box on the dresser, and what appears to be and like kind of a big fat old like clock that's like on a desk as well. And you know for a fact that in a pinch you could probably make some shit out of this if you need to.
Okay.
And if you wanted to look for anything else specific or say that there's other shit in the apartment, if you have like different ideas, you can go ahead. Like if you want to make a nail bomb or something. Okay. So just giving
okay
you
with that.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, I would probably take the music box out with me.
Okay.
Just as like which one is better.
Okay, cool. All right. So you bring out the music box and the underwear. She goes,
Yes.
The underwear, thank you, and holds out her hand. And she grips it, and she puts it down on the table. And she goes, right then. Let's get started. Where's my bowl? And he goes, I don't have a bowl. And she goes, that's the wrong answer. And she reaches into her like purse and pulls out 2 candles and lights 2 of the candles on either side of the underwear. and she takes out what appears to be a small or a large sewing needle and places it on the underwear. And she goes, I'm so glad it was underwear that you decided. Now then, where's my bow? And he goes, I really don't know. And she goes, Victor, do you have any sort of heavy instrument? A hammer or?
Yes, I do. Here, take this one.
That's perfect, thank you. And she goes, and just whacks the sewing needle. And you can see him go, and she goes, oh, yes, that was only the inner thigh. Now imagine what I can do. And she plucks the needle back out, and he, where's my bow? And now, Victor, this is what you're about. You've seen interrogations before. This is an interrogation. She plans on torturing this man without actually causing him bodily harm. She is causing him his pain receptors to fire.
That's fair.
Yep.
Do you need anything else? Water, maybe some refreshment?
That is very kind of you to ask, Victor, and I appreciate that. You seem like a man who knows how to take care of people.
I
like
try.
that. I know. I saw you doing it. Actually, if you could, I would appreciate it if you were to stand outside the door and make sure no one got in.
Sure.
Good. Now,
Okay.
Victor, I'm not finished with you. Please do not leave until I've gotten my bowl.
No.
Very good. I'll find you. And you just exit. So you are out of the apartment.
I'm outside.
If you want to be.
I got the music box. I'm gonna pocket that. Trying to decide what I want to do here. I'll probably stick around for a little bit.
Okay. All right. You want to try to listen to her?
Yeah. Also, and part of me is going to be like probably just putting fingers between my ears to kind of drown out the screams that are coming out of that apartment now.
That will no doubtedly, because he cannot tell her where the bull is. And you've probably also seen interrogations that go that way as well, when the person really doesn't know and it gets bad.
Here's the thing.
So, Sparrow, you can hear this.
No, because I'm filling a sack full of rats.
Go on.
I am
Please
taking a sack full of rats. Shaking it up, getting them all riled.
Sparrow has a bag full of very pissed off rats.
I'm going to kick open her front door and release the rats.
Into her home.
Yes, to trigger everything.
That is.
Then I'm GTFO.
I like it. So as we see Victor open up the door and kind of put his back against it, Victor, you can hear what sounds like Scotland voices coming from up the stairs to the actual apartment complex, and you're like, you think you recognize some of those voices because you look like, wait a minute, I think I've heard those before. We go into the apartment and we see her whack, slamming another needle into, or the needle into the underwear again. And Brad goes, Mother of God, that is like the fucking worst. What is that? Holy balls. And she goes, sit back down. And he goes, oh. And she plucks the needle out. And as she goes to raise it again, we go kind of through the window, and you see across from Brad's vantage point, which you know.
Actually, I don't want to kick in the door. I want to dump them down the chimney.
Then we look over and we see what appears to be Sparrow up on the chimney like Santa Claus, and pull out this big bag and just start. It's kind of soundlessly, as if we're watching her through the window, soundlessly dumping rats, and then looks around and just hauls ass. And as Sparrow runs, we kind of look up and we can see two figures on a rooftop, one of which is Scarlet, one of which is this fly man standing there, as Scarlet is like, and also running away from whoever the fuck this is.
Yeah, I look over at Scarlet and I'm like,
Scarlet, you also see Sparrow running across.
I'm just gonna point back and just keep booking it.
Sparrow, you see what she's pointing at. Ooh. Absolutely not.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. It's the worst. As it's kind of chasing her with its arms out, and you're like, ugh. So I love it. I love it. Scarlet, did you roll? What would you like to roll to try to jump across the building?
Oh boy. because the finesse is not that good, as in 0.
You
Any
can
prowl?
Yeah, I was gonna say prowl.
Well, finesse isn't really jumping.
No, yeah, prowl would. Traverse obstacles.
Skirmish is more.
Well, it does say obstacles, prowl. Skirmish might work too.
I'll accept whatever,
Yeah,
as long as you can make it make sense to me.
And this is desperate for sure, right?
Alexa, stop. God, I hate that fucking thing. Jesus, I never even said her name. Worst thing ever. Go on, I'm sorry.
Desperate for sure.
Okay, yeah. Desperate, and I would say standard, because you're good at this. You usually are hunting from rooftops and stuff. This seems to be like, if you had favored terrain, I feel like this is what it would be.
Anybody got a devil's bargain for me?
Oh.
Because I haven't taken enough, so why not?
Your boots.
I got one.
Where's the
Oh, even better. One of the boots gets snagged by the thing.
How about a few flies have found their way into a coat pocket, and it sets up a story for later for Evan that you have a few friends riding with you. I don't know how the flies work. I'm just assuming they're in some way connected to him.
You'll have to see. I will say that or yeah, I could work with that. I can make that work.
No, I'm gonna take the stress.
I like this. How about devils? Really? A few flies in the pocket? I'd rather have my eyes plucked out. How about devil's bargain? You're not there to help Victor.
I mean,
You're already kind of not there to help Victor, huh? That's not much of a devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already kind of what you're choosing to do. That's a good point.
Yeah, sorry, Victor.
Let's just go with the flies then. The devil's bargain thing is I feel like there's not always a thing for it. I
Okay, you know what?
How about this? You make it, but you hurt yourself. You like twist your ankle or something like that. You take one harm. How's that?
That's fine. I'll do that.
Or the flies in the pocket. Which one would you like? Flies in the pocket, you're not hurt at all. Harm's
just
harm.
take the stress.
Or take the stress.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna take the stress. You only live once. If I get some trauma, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Go right ahead and roll that business.
Okay.
Sparrow, you're seeing this. Is there anything you want to do to help?
Oh yes.
At the moment.
Okay. Nice.
That's a
Excellent.
6.
You don't need to. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So you just took the stress, right? That's what we decided?
Yep.
Very good. So you fucking nope, and you leap, and you now are you climbing to the next building? You said you're just jumping across, right?
I'm gonna try to jump. If it's logistically.
Yes, Dunslow is a very packed area. That's what it's all the buildings are smashed together. Thesiatol's house is like the only oddity out of that. So you just nope and leap to the other side, kind of tuck and rolling and landing perfectly. And he you see that he is running as well, and he hops onto the roof and is leaping across also. He's fucking really good at it, though he doesn't. I would say he fucks up the jump a little bit, and it looks like he fell. And you're like, oh, thank God. And then you see he crawls up the wall like Spider-Man and crawls over and goes, you don't understand. You've got to stop. Stop right fucking now. And he's yelling at you while chasing you. Stop now. Just kind of yelling it.
She's just gonna keep noping it and be like, what the fuck do you want?
you gotta stop. And he's like, you're freaking out as you're running. I'm gonna say you're just like, fuck this, and you keep booking it. And as you do, you hear what sounds like that buzzing noise again, but way, way worse. Like a lot. And it's not coming from in front of you. The front is still the escape route. It sounds like it's coming from below you guys and around the buildings. Sparrow, what you noticed is as she's leaping across the buildings and you're looking, you see that through some of the broken boarded windows spews these like flies, bugs, whatever the fuck they are. It's like clouds of them spewing out of the buildings and just swarming around the buildings following her. She can't see it because it's below her on the buildings, but you can tell that they are moving unified, like almost with running with this man and Scarlet. They are moving with a purpose and working their way up towards it.
Can I jump over in front of him?
In front of the thing? I will. Oh, you know what? If you use that superhuman thing, I can say that you can leap up and then like throw your climbing shit on and get up there. But you'll probably have to meet them at like the next building. But you could definitely get them up there. You can beat the swarm of flies and him. But I'm just saying, like, mathematically, it'll have to be the next building, which is fine. Yes. You can all make the jump. I'm not going to make you fucking roll for that shit again.
No, I think okay. I will take the yes.
Okay, so you take stress for that
thing,
right?
But in order to use that thing, I have to push myself.
The climbing gear?
The superhuman feet.
Oh, the superhuman feet? Okay, cool. And how far can you jump with that and run? You can
perform a feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman, so whatever I need to.
You know what? We'll just say that you can run diagonal up the walls. Fuck it, because it's superhuman. You know what I mean? I'm imagining like superhero
I basically
shit.
Anchor myself at one point and parkour over there.
Yes.
So do you want to prowl?
I mean, do you? Yeah, we'll see how effective this.
I have to push myself, so I take 2 stress.
Because you're using this like power, I'll say it's probably pretty much already you're going to succeed. Let's see if you get any extra.
Gotcha. So
business.
You would say this is controlled standard?
I would say that this is not controlled standard. I would say that this is desperate standard because it's like in the moment of like, fuck, here I come. It was a split-second thing that you guys did not plan for.
1 more dice for pushing myself. I got a 6.
Excellent.
I want to stand between him and Scarlet and be like, tell Scarlet to wait. And pull out my knife and point it at him, but be like, I'm listening.
Okay, yeah. With some backup, I'll go ahead and stop.
You want to talk? You want to stop and talk to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys are gonna die. No, it's fine. So
what's our other option? Continue to run? It doesn't seem to be.
No, it's okay.
I mean, it doesn't. Yeah.
There's always the tunnels, Sparrow. There's always that young.
Oh yeah, we do have the tunnel thing.
And we might make it down there if we have to, but absolutely not. There's a horror down there.
So you fucking run up the wall, also kind of like Spider-Man, and leap your way up, whipping the grapple hook back and landing like some sort of awesome fucking superhero spy Batman, and pull out your double-edged blade and point it at him. And you wanna say, what do you want?
Say, what are the flies?
Him. He's here.
Who is he?
We've got to get the fuck out of here.
We're trying.
And we're gonna cut from that back to Ebony and Grimalkin. You guys are making your way through. This place is ice fucking cold. It is the echo, the ghost of a building. You are walking on solid tiled floors, broken and old. You are walking between looks like a stone wall. Stone walls probably on either side, and with these doorways that lead to these weird rooms. This looked like it used to be an apartment building. Kind of a nice one. It's since in really bad disrepair, but when it was running, maybe it was nice. But now it is destroyed, dilapidated. And as you guys are making your way through, it is quiet, and every so often you hear what sounds like scream, distant, far. Sounds like it's way away, but you almost feel like it's right around you. It's hard to explain. There are, every once in a while, things that move and scratch along floors, the walls, but you see nothing. It is maybe the building trying to, it's just reacting to you maybe. Maybe it's a warning, maybe it's communication.
How long do we have to be in these until we can get out?
I don't know.
You see some signs on the walls that look like they are directions for people who are in this apartment building. You are on the second floor because you were on the second floor of the bar, and it's pointing the way towards the stairs.
Seems likely as anything.
You make your way.
Let's go to the stairs.
You make your way for the stairs and find them. It is like a stairwell, kind of leading down. There are other floors above. If you guys wanted to go check those out.
Nope.
Didn't think so. So I would say when you get into the stairwell, you kind of look down, and it goes down to just one more floor. You look up, and it is a spiral into an abyss.
Nope.
And just
No, thank you.
and as so I'm imagining Gramogan goes nope and just turns around like, oh that's absolutely fucking not, and keeps going. Oh, we lost DBM.
Yeah, his
Internet
internet
just
has been
dropped.
going in and out.
We'll get back to him then. He still has time. So as you start making your way down, I will say, Ebony, something tells you to look up there again. Just like a twinge in the back of your neck. Do you listen to it? Because there's a risk with things like that when it comes to ghosts. Sometimes your preternatural instincts are a trick and a trap, but there's something about it. Do you turn and look up that spiraling abyss?
No, I'm going to just keep going down the stairs.
Okay, so you guys keep going down the stairs. You reach the door. Grimalkin, you touch the door, which is just simply like an old wooden door that you can open. And when you touch it, it's ice cold and it hurts for a second.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt. It was just very, very cold. And you're like, ugh. And you push it open, and you are in what appears to be the lobby area. Makes sense. You go right from the lobby up to the stairs. So you're in the lobby. There seems to be a nice front desk with this old wooden chair. Looks like there's still some notepads on the paper, and the lobby itself is still elegant but grotesque now. And there is what appears to be a nice front view, a bunch of windows and big glass double doors that seem to lead out. But you cannot see through the windows. There's nothing. It's just pure, that icy blue color. It's is that the exit? You're not sure, but that is the exit to this building. And as you guys make your way into lobby, you actually, I will say that Ebony, you are, I would say, behind Grimalkin, because he was nope, and fucking went. So as you are walking, you can hear something coming down the stairs very quickly. Just footsteps.
I'm just gonna go for the exit.
Okay, so Grimalkin, as you're looking at the lobby, Ebony very quickly goes past you. So you guys move as the footsteps fucking dead stop where you guys were at the door, and the door to the stairwell slowly shuts. Ebony, you take out the key and you put it in the keyhole of the actual apartment door, and you turn it, and sure enough, it kind of feels that ice cold again. And just as you do, you start pulling on the door, and it's heavy. It's pretty fucking heavy, and it seems like it's not heavy. The building doesn't want you to leave. And you're kind of pulling on it, and you hear that kind of groaning and creaking of the building. And as you do, Grimalkin, since you're a little bit behind, just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You hear coming from where the lobby led to like the first floor, where it led beyond to where like the first floor rooms are, you start to hear doors opening and shutting. You start to hear doors opening and slamming. You start to hear people. You start to hear like a man and a woman fighting, noises that you would hear in sort of an apartment complex, a baby crying, the sounds of just daily life. But here in this place, these sounds are ominous and they mean death because ghosts have gone mad. And you can start to hear what sounds like footsteps, and you can hear what sounds like people going, "What is that racket? What is going on? Oh, where are they?" And you just start hearing these voices coming from into the darkness of where the first floor is and the first floor's rooms. And now, was there something that you wanted to do?
Yes. If Ebony is having a problem opening the door, is it open a little bit?
Oh, yeah. It's
okay.
like a nice crack. It's just like...
I want to jam my Spirit Bane charm in there in the hopes that it repels the door.
Okay, I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as you turn to look at that, and you're like, nope, and you pull out the Spirit Bane charm, and you put it, and it doesn't blow it open, but it is like someone is currently putting WD-40 on it, and the door is, and you can almost hear the house in a way. You heard it. You heard the ghost of this place, and you can hear it almost scream in the creak of the door, and what sounds like the reaction of the things living in there. You start to hear screams coming from inside. You have enraged them, and the door is opening much quicker, but now from the darkness of the first floor, you begin to see eyes. You begin to see like animals' eyes when they reflect in the darkness. You can see 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 12 as they all start like animals. You see that some of them, it looks like some of them are far taller than they should be. Some of them are warped and strange as they begin to like mob towards you in the lobby. The door is now open. And they are rushing towards you. You go. Do you spend the time to shut the door behind you?
Yes.
Okay. Not sure how it works, so you just and shut the door behind you. And as you do, you slam it shut. The key is in your hand. You are holding the ghost door. Grimulkin, you are out in the streets. You know where you are. You're in Crow's Foot. You're actually right in Ironbiter territory.
Okay, we're good.
You traveled a much farther distance than you should have. This is a very expedient way of travel.
Not one I'd like to use often.
No, but definitely good in it. You went a long way. It's like Minecraft traveling with the Nether. You went a long fucking way in a short amount of time. But when you shut it, Ebony, and you back up, that door is still there. It's fading. I'm going to lock it. It is. They would have to use it to open it anyway. Okay. So when you shut it, it is locked. And as you, no, that's actually cool. I'll say you do that. I'll say like you're the one that fucking nopes. And as you kind of back up, you can see the glass doors, and you can see these things kind of slam against it. They are indeed ghosts, but there is something. They are like changing. Maybe they have been in that place for so long. They are warping. Some of them, their dimensions are off, and they look just. Some of them look like broken and twisted. They are terrible looking things. And it begins to fade as they just pound against the glass that they cannot break. And you're out in the streets, and you're in Ironbiter territory.
Well, that went well.
Yes, we're not dead, and I think that's a good start.
Do you still have the severed head?
Yes.
Okay, so that whole thing,
time.
you running with it. Good. Excellent. And you guys want to make it, try to find, so what you do know is that John Irons has changed where his headquarters is because you burned the last one down. His headquarters is now in, and I'll say that we can just start there. You don't have to travel there, but Coal Ridge is where he is. So he is now where all like the factories and shit are, which I think just matches his kind of personality. So
sure.
To Cole's Ridge then.
Yes.
All right.
So we will let's cut back. Victor.
Yes.
The voices coming up the stairs, those are Skovlin voices. Victor, those are Skovlin Liberation Front voices. Sometimes they do checks of the buildings. Sometimes they come through, ask people what they need. and it sounds like some of them are making their way up here.
Okay. I'll make sure that my gear is available. So it looks like I'm in the middle of repairs.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna keep them away from this area so that from all the screams that are audibly coming out of the door.
Okay. So you are going to try to distract them and keep them away from this.
Just tell them like I got this. Just
okay. And what is it that you're making?
I'm probably gonna make a. I'm probably actually going to make a. Actually, well, while I'm there, I'm also gonna be asking like, what are they doing here? Because I want to at least know why they're here.
Okay. So as you wait for them, who comes up the stairs is I have their names. Is Adi, the leader of the fucking Scovian Liberation Front, and his right hand woman, whose name is Wilma.
Okay.
And she's pretty badass. She's was ex-military, as was he. They fought on the side of the Scovian, obviously. And they're coming up and they're just kind of talking. And as they come up the stairs, he spots you. And he goes, Victor, right?
Yes.
And he is sort of a younger, I would say he's probably like mid 30s, sort of a handsome guy, kind of well built, wears like, I would say nothing fancy, just kind of like a tattered brown coat. He definitely does not take money from people. Got like the sort of the fingerless gloves, but he carries himself well. Definitely not to be mistaken for like, one of the common folk of Dunslow. And him to pretty much always be armed, but reluctant to use it. And Wilma is, I would say probably a little on the shorter side, but just as well capable of handling herself. And she usually wears like a vest and just like kind of sort of a dress shirt and slacks. And they approach you. Victor, are you here to make repairs?
Yes, I was in the middle of repairs, and right now I am just finishing my rounds.
A thwack and a pained scream comes from inside of the apartment. How do you cover it up?
I'm sure they're gonna look, like kind of try to peek over him, like, Lover Squirrel, you don't want to know.
Oh. No, I certainly do not. Victor, it is fortunate that we've run into you. I have actually something I want to talk to you about. You were quite handy. You know that,
Thank
yes?
you. Yes, I do. Thank you.
I am thinking perhaps there is something you can do for us to help with our plans.
What do you need?
Well, and he kind of looks around and he goes, come with me. And he kind of guides you, not back down the steps, but just down the hall to a window. The hall just ends at a window.
Right.
And as he sits there and you can see, as he kind of sits there resting, across the way, you can see a couple of people running across the rooftops with a swarm of flies chasing them. But he doesn't notice that. But I can say that as you kind of look, you're like, those are your friends.
I'm just gonna like straight face.
Just shut the blinds.
he stands on this side, so it's technically happening like behind him, and you're just like, okay. And he goes,
But mentally, like, Victor's just like, what the hell?
Victor, I would like from you, do you know how to make... We used to use them in the war. I think you will remember. Grenades. Granada. But Not shrapnel. I want just smoke.
Oh, um, I've uh, I've helped put the chemicals and things for it together during the war.
Hmm.
I do remember some of it.
And do you know how to repair weaponry, guns? I know how to clean, I know how to fix, but when parts are missing or broken, to replace or refurbish or recraft them, do you know how to do that?
Yes, I do. I used to. That was my position in the army, to repair.
Well, that would be excellent. We would love to have you repair some of our weapons. We try not to use them, as you know. But in the event
Right.
that we must, we would like them to be in working order. Otherwise, they are useless. We have gotten the weapons we have gotten hold of. The Empire has taken all that we had, so we need what we have gotten is cheap, is dirty, is broken. We could really use your help fixing them up, making them back into fighting shape.
Oh, okay, I can do that, but it's just for protection. Yes.
Victor, of course. We are not here to hurt others. We are here to help. Do you not see what we do? And he has like his hand on your shoulder now.
Mm. Yeah, it's
Very
trying to do good in a tough time.
Yes, and it is hard, Victor. And it requires hard people, hard men and women. The Skovlin, we are hard people. Severos, they say that they are survivors. But we Skovlin, we know what survival means. Now. I knew I could count on you, Victor. And he kind of slaps your shoulder and he goes, didn't I tell you about him, Vilma? He is a good man. He will do good, he will do well for us. Now, Victor, I will leave you. We have big plans coming up. I would like those grenades and a few weapons repaired shortly, if you could. We're just waiting on a few papers.
Oh, okay.
All right.
When exactly and where do you want me to bring them?
As soon as you can. I will not rush you. I do not know your situation. But as soon as possible, within the next couple of days, please. Very, very soon will be better. And you can drop them off right in John Hollow, the warehouse where you first came to be recruited.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Thank you, Victor. And he makes his way out. Adi leaves. And as he walks by, you hear whack. Ooh! And he goes, he should not have done whatever he did. And he leaves. And start making their way down the steps. And you kind of.
So you have. That's probably the first time you've really interacted with Adi. But he remembered you. He remembered your skill set.
Yeah.
So you hear from inside the apartment as you kind of approach, you hear, Victor.
Yes.
Oh, so good to hear that you're still out there. Come on in, please.
All right. Pulls the door off, sets it aside a little bit to kind of come in.
Okay, why is the door off?
Well, because I took the hinges off.
Oh, right. Okay, so you just take the door off.
I took the hinges off instead of trying to break the lock.
Yeah,
I
you
decided
just
to take the hinges off.
Fucking faster for you. Do you want to slide that back in place if you would? Just fucking slide it back.
Slide. Yep.
Just a reminder, but at this point, I have dumped a bag of rats down her chimney.
Yes, well, that's what's about to happen.
Okay.
So she goes, now then, Victor, there is something happening that requires my attention. And I would like you to sit here with Brad until I return. Yes?
Okay. Is he all right?
Brad?
I can't. Victor looks over at Looks over at Brad.
He is sweating. He is pale. He looks like he's being tortured, but he has no physical wounds on him. It's just fucking hurting him. So he's just like he's terrified. He'll live probably. If you're not sure if she'll kill him or not. You don't really know her, but but she hasn't really done any irreversible damage to him yet.
But excuse me, I do have other repairs I need to take care of.
That's perfectly fine. It will only take a moment. Unless you would like to try to persuade her or sway her or something to try to convince her to let you go. You did just put a couple of points in a consort, right?
Oh yeah, I did.
So far you've been her perfect little helper, so you've done nothing to piss her off. You've done pretty much everything she's asked, so.
Yeah, so I'll probably consort, and it'll be just more along the lines of, well, you see, I have obligations to the front. I need to help them with more repairs in the warehouse.
Ah, I see. And what are you gonna roll for this?
It's probably gonna be consort. But I'm just not even gonna devil's bar. I'm just gonna take the stress.
Okay.
I mean, it's absolutely true. You did just hear from a couple of people from Scovelin asking you to do stuff.
Yeah,
it's true. But it's whether or not she lets you out because of it. You're trying to get away from her, not lie to her.
Right.
If you had
right.
Yeah. You're like, my wife is giving birth right now.
Desperate or risky? The how is it
just risky for her. You're not
okay.
She's not pissed at you. You've done everything right, and you've been respectful to her. So I would say it's probably risky. Standard.
Okay. Standard. Okay, and I get the 1 die for the stress.
Yes.
And yes, excellent. There's a 6.
Yay!
She goes, all right, very well. Let me walk you out. And she turns around and goes, stay, and points to him, and he just and falls on, lays down on the couch. And she goes, shall I walk you out, or shall you walk me back home? And she extends her arm.
I will gladly walk you back home.
Thank you. And she takes your arm, and as you just sort of what is happening? As you kind of walk her out, the door's still slightly ajar.
Victor's just yeah. And Victor's just I will do everything possible not to piss this woman off.
So you make your way down the stairs, and we will cut. Oh, you know what? Just give me 2 seconds and I'll cut back to Sparrow and Scarlet. As you guys make your way towards her home, you walk her right to her home, and she walks up. You see her open the door, and you can see a shit ton of rats. Yes, Throck, yeah. You can see a shit ton of rats kind of walking around in her home. She goes, okay, this is an odd sort of day. Well then, Victor, this is where I will leave you. I obviously have a pest situation to take care of, but it was lovely meeting you, and I do hope we see each other again sometime.
Indeed, and actually he's going to bow to her.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you very much. It's nice to see someone who knows what a woman deserves. You bow to him, bow to her. And as you begin to make your way, leaving, I assume, as you walk down to her picket fence, you see a couple of people walking by. And as you open the fence, she's kind of has her back turned, and she's like, oh. And there is 3 people, all wearing long coats. One is a pretty large man that you just sort of oh, hello. Just a big, fucking angry, mean-looking dude. He pays you no mind as he kind of walks past you, and his gaze is kind of just general. He's not looking at anything in particular, and then his eyes sharpen and look right to the witch, and you see that the other 2, one of them kind of, it happens quickly as they move past you. One of them kind of pushes you out of the way, and And you're like, what? And you turn, and the large man pulls out what appears to be a double-barrel shotgun, points it at her, and pulls the trigger, blasting a buckshot straight through her chest, through her back and out her chest, and just boom! And she's standing there, and she puts her hand on the wall, and you hear, and she turns around, and you can see her eyes wide with hate and shock, and and you see her hand raise as the bone charms start like leaning towards her hands, and as the lights from some of the gas lanterns start going out, she is conjuring something, and you see him boom fire the second barrel as it just boom and blasts, takes the whole top of her head clean off as she just boom and hits into her apartment, fucking dead. As you just watch them basically take out Fessie Atoll. And the man with the smoking shotgun puts it to his side, turns around, and goes, "You are Victor."
Yes.
This is favor from Merciful Mishka. She wishes to speak to you about Skovlin Liberation Front.
No.
Earliest convenience.
And they just turn and start walking back. He puts he reloads the shotgun and puts it back into his jacket. And you see them look over and they go, in Russian, I don't know what Russian is for this, but the fuck? And you look over at the building across the way, and that's where we're going to take our break to see exactly what's going on this rooftop in Dunslow with Scarlet and Sparrow. And yeah, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
All right, we'll be back after these messages. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot, your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Blades in the Dark. Yes. Okay, so welcome back to Blades in the Dark. We left off. Our team was a bit scattered through the city, putting out various fires. As I said it before, Gramokin and Ebony were currently on their way, secretly and hurriedly, to make their way to John Irons to immediately warn him that Frank Gruen absolutely wants him dead, or maybe kill him. You can also try to kill him. He's super good with guns, but you could remember that. So anyway, you want to go warn John Irons as you're sort of buddies with him now.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Victor is having a day. He was kind of hostage, sort of, from a witch, and while being hostage from a witch, had to watch her interrogate someone who he framed, and then he had a brief conversation with the Scotland Liberation Front, because this is one of the primary areas that they like to walk around in, Dunslow, to help out. He was told to make grenades and help build guns for them. And on his way out, the witch was letting him go when she was brutally cut down with a double-barrel shotgun at the hands of one of the main henchmen of Mishka the Merciful. This is the same man, by the way, that Sparrow, you saw walk into a party in Brightstone and just start firing off shots.
He's one of the Corvs.
The Corvs, yeah.
That's
Merciful right. Mishka is their leader. Yeah. Mishka the Merciful Mishka, either way. Meanwhile, Sparrow and Scarlet are having a whole tiff on the rooftop with a man who looks like some sort of hideous mutated fly man, similar to The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, the greatest actor known to man.
Or if we want to go with the original Vincent Price.
Or Vincent Price, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, for good.
There you
The
go.
Fly finds a way.
Jazz piano starts playing. Yeah.
And you are being pursued by him as well as a swarm of flies. And when finally cornered, he said, "We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. He's here." And I think we will open up with that, because I think the order was we were going around. So let's hit you guys again. You're on the rooftop. You are looking at him. He just said, "We need to get the fuck out of here." He's here. He's here.
How do we escape? We can't run from you, apparently.
I know a way. You've got to trust me. Let's through some of the tunnels.
We're surrounded.
Fine.
Come on! And he starts running for an edge of the roof as the flies begin to swarm up and over the building. You can see that it's not just flies. Some of these bugs look big, look a little gnarly, and they start like coming for you as he's hauling ass for one of the edge of the roof.
Yeah, you know what? In this case, Scarlett's just gonna look over to Sparrow, shrug, fuck it, and just
follow. The fly man. As he runs, he turns around really quick as you guys run past, and he goes, and he launches this huge gob of goo at this swarm of flies, kind of catching a whole bunch of them and kind of making them like disperse for a second. And you see it like, and it looks like the same goo that was all over that like desiccated body that was down in the stairwell. So like, maybe this guy killed somebody. So you start hauling ass, and he goes right over the side of the building and just jumps down. You're probably on like a 3-story building. He just jumps and then just like, and he lands like without a sound, just like, and starts and looks up and he goes, come on then.
I'm going to tick off my climbing gear.
Okay.
And by tick off, I mean open my character sheet. There we go. So I'm just going to drop a grapple and like slide down the rope.
Okay, I'm gonna say you guys are able to hop down there. As you do, Scarlet, you're the last one down, and as you go down, the bugs start to swarm around. But as they get close to you, they swarm you and they move away, and they don't hit you. They don't run into you at all, and they start kind of working their way down the building, kind of towards Sparrow a little bit more. But they avoid you, and in the cloud and swarm of these bugs, now you're seeing there's like, it looks like flying cockroaches, tons of flies, looks like wasps, some other weird bugs you've never seen before, some big gnarly biting looking motherfuckers flying around. Like, what the fuck? And as you start sliding down, you can see amidst this swarm, you can see the figure of a person walking amidst this swarm of bugs, and just like walking across the rooftop towards you as you like, nope, and make your way down. And as you guys reach the street, Sparrow, you're like, zzz, and the fucking flies are coming at you. You have to just abandon your. You can take the grapple hook down, but you're going to start getting bit. No,
I'm leaving it for Scarlet to use.
Oh yeah, sure. So you guys hit, and you start following this fly man as he's making his way through the alleyways of Dunslow. The path he begins to take, Scarlet, begins to look a little familiar. He is leading you towards, sure enough, a large warehouse that has a bunch of junk and garbage in it that you remember walking through with the Blotch when you were during the message job.
I'm going to run to try to catch pace alongside Sparrow. Hey, there's a bunch of traps coming up, so be careful.
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
So
keep going.
He slides open like a little piece of metal that leads to like sort of a broken piece of the wall and runs in. He goes, come on now. And as you guys enter, he slides it shut. And he goes, all right, and it's dark. You are basically in like a landfill of a warehouse. Like the warehouse is now used as just like a dumping ground for trash. And amidst this, as you guys start walking around, like the smell is pretty bad. And he kind of flips his hood back over his head and starts making his way like across the trash piles. He goes, come on, follow me, and is crawling over the trash. You can hear what sounds like the insects begin to swarm and hit the metal walls of the warehouse. And he goes, watch your feet now, lots of biters and clampers. And he's pointing down, and you can see where he points, Sparrow, there is indeed a bear trap. Okay. You're like, ugh. And you guys start making your way, and he leads you over a few trash piles and to like sort of a cleared out one. And there is what appears to be like a kind of hole in the ground, like broken through the concrete, and just darkness underneath. And this little spot, this little area, you can see that laying in the trash pile, you can see a person, a long since kind of deceased and kind of rotting here is a human being, is a person, and it looks like their midsection had been torn open. And he looks at it and goes, you've got to trust me.
Out of curiosity, could I use study kind of like an insight, just to see if I notice like nostrils flaring, something to give me an idea of like, is he lying? Is there like some kind of hidden motive?
So I think with this, not really. It's more like your gut instinct, I think. First of all, you're looking at a face that's so alien to you. It is a fly man face. There is very few human features left. His nose is like kind of smoothed off and is sort of like two holes, kind of like
Voldemort.
I'm sorry, he who should not be named. I'm so sorry.
Voldemort.
I fucked up the first rule.
Totally just said it too, so we're good.
So, it's so difficult to kind of tell. So I would more go with what is your gut instinct on this? Would you like to trust him or not? I don't really like, there's no real role for it. I guess you could do study, but this isn't even a person. You're not familiar with ever dealing. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at. What the fuck is he? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like a monster person. Like this isn't a fucking thing. Like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, you know what? In this particular situation, there doesn't seem to be like many other options, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Okay. I'll say this. You can always put a bullet in his head if you're uncomfortable.
Facts.
You can always shoot him right in the fucking head. So he goes, he looks at you, come on, and he jumps down the hole. And you hear like a kind of a splash a little bit. Do you follow?
Yep.
Okay.
I put on my dark sight goggles.
Okay, you flip them on. You can see you are in some dark ass tunnels. What he does is spit out this goo in his hand and kind of and lets it go, and it warbles in front of him and begins to glow fluorescent. And you can see that a lot of his skin begins to glow fluorescent, and is the insides of his eyes. And he goes, and it sheds enough light, Scarlet, for you to be able to see pretty easily. And he goes, "Is that good? Can you see now?"
Yeah.
Come on. And he takes like a piece of wood and puts it and goes and kind of spits goo on it to sort of stick the wood. And he goes, "That'll buy us a few minutes." And he begins to lead you into the darkness of these tunnels. It'll probably take you guys a minute to get your bearings, but you'll be able to figure out where you are because you already have mapped out the tunnels underneath this place.
Okay.
So, is there anything you guys want to ask him as he begins to walk? He is just kind of out of breath and like hacking.
Who are you and why are you helping us?
My name is Silt. And, well, I'm helping you. I don't know who the fuck you are. And he points to you, Sparrow. And he goes, but I'm helping you. You're the Red Woman. I know you, because your boots, you left your boots here. Did you get them? I got them back to you.
Yeah, I got them back, but then the docks, there was an incident, and unfortunately I don't have them anymore, but I do appreciate it.
I saw that. You went into the drink, you popped back out. Not many people pop back out. I've been watching you for a while, Red Woman. And, so have they. I can smell them. I could smell them on your boots. I knew. I could smell them on that fucking cat you've got. I knew.
They and the cat, the Lacrimose?
Yeah, you fucking Lacrimose. Nasty little fuckers, they are nasty pieces of shit. You don't know. Oh, yeah, you don't know the half of it, girlie. They've got their eye on you. They've got their eye on you right proper. You better watch yourself.
What do you mean they have their eye on me?
Well, I've been watching you. You've been watching them. And they've been watching you. But I've made sure that they ain't been watching Silt. No, sir. Been after me for fucking years. Want to collect what we've done. Want to make right what they've made mistakes with. Fucking Lacrimose, twisted fucks, evil fucks. But they've got their eye on you, thinking you're some sort of golden goose. Don't know. Nasty fucks. As he continues down the tunnels, and he goes, I'm trying to take us to a safe place. Well, safer place. Is there any place you know that's safe?
I'm going to look back at Sparrow on this one.
No.
Well, shite. It will take him a while to find us, but find us he will. He's pretty fucking good at it. One of the things he does.
How do we stop that?
What?
How do we stop him?
Fuck me, I don't fucking know. Every time I see him, I fucking run. Nasty bastard. Twisted fuck.
Is there a person in there? Or is it just the bugs?
I saw a figure heading towards me.
There's a person. His name was Filch. Now, calls himself Filth. Real clever he is. Roundabout. You're welcome, you cocksuckers. But I don't know why, but he's fucking after you. Didn't know he was going to be after you till I caught him whiffing about. Doesn't know where you live yet, but he'll find it. It's what he does. Doesn't know where you are right now, but he'll find you. It's what he does. Only a matter of time for you to square up with Filth.
Look, I'll be honest, I don't know why they're after me. All I know is that I went to them for a favor.
Ah.
And that is how I met Ember, the cat that you've so seen, and they told me I'd owe them a favor. That's it.
Where is Ember, by the way? She with you?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Sticks by my side.
Okay. So I'll say that he kind of looks down at this cat and he goes,
Yeah, I don't know what they want from you. I can only imagine that it's not good. I don't know. We can talk when we get safe. Too many things down here.
and he cuts off as the cat kind of goes completely spectral without you ordering her to, and goes and starts crawling ahead. And he goes,
Oh dear.
and he kind of holds the glob out in front of him, and it kind of hovers. It hovers like several feet, but he seems to need to control it. And he goes,
Something up ahead. Something moving about. Watch yourselves.
as you start to go, and the cat's kind of slightly glowing as it moves forward. Something down here. And we will cut from there back to Ebony and Grimulkin. Ebony, Grimulkin, we'll say that you arrived at Coles Ridge, and we'll say that you arrived at John Iron's new location, which is an iron smelting factory.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Lovely.
No end of crowbars for these bad boys.
Great.
And it's not difficult for you to get in. You're in. I would say that you're able to arrive and meet with him. You were brought into, basically, surprisingly, the factory is in total working order. It is working. It is producing iron. It is a real working factory. And you're like, Grimulkin, you're probably like, oh, that's a brilliant cover. Like, that's really good. It actually probably produces really good amounts of money. Good for him for getting this. And he is up in the foreman's sort of chambers, or the guy who's running the factory, and he's at a desk and he's got a bunch of paperwork in front of him, and he's doing paperwork like a real boss for a real iron smelting factory. And he kind of looks up, and he's got these little glasses on that he's wearing because he's getting a little older, close to 40s, I guess. As one of the other iron visors allows you in, and you come in, and he goes,
Hello, John.
The door's shut behind you to give you some privacy.
Never reckoned I'd see you coming by, but I guess you're cashing in on that favor.
And he extends his hand, shake your guys' hands.
Ebony?
Hello, John.
Kind of.
Actually, we're doing you a favor.
We're doing both of us a favor, let's be honest.
Yes.
What is it?
I set the bag on the desk.
There's a head in that bag.
That's what
It
I
didn't
said.
open.
Yeah.
He hears the wet thud.
He goes, There's a head in that bag.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it
Right.
too, right?
See
it's
a bowling
obvious-
bag.
Yeah.
It's a head.
It's obviously a head. Yes. I opened that bag. Boink.
He just reaches in and pulls it out.
That is Inspector. Yes?
I do not know this man.
Well, I was about to say that is Inspector Duran Vance.
Who is this man?
I just told you it's Inspector Duran Vance.
This is an inspector.
Well, yeah,
Shit.
well, yes. So he was investigating us for various things, and the Billhooks decided to take care of him for us. But they did so. So let's start at the beginning. As you are probably aware, the Billhooks are the ones who hired us to break up the Ironbiters, or at least see what we could do about your former employer. And now they want us to kill you. We, as a group, think this is not what we want to do. Just putting that out there immediately.
Snake oil. Slow down. First off, you're gonna talk to me. You're gonna talk to me straight.
I feel like I just did.
You killed my boss
Yes.
because you wanted to kill my boss.
Well, we were also kind of on a job.
Oh, really?
Bill Hooks didn't hire you to kill him.
They were involved in the situation.
happened afterwards. You decided to kill him of your own fruition, of your own decision, and then you came to the village and said, "Look what we did," and that got you in good with them. But he basically he's John Irons. He's like a rusty cowboy man. He's like just seeing through He basically is just seeing through your bullshit. So he's like,
I wasn't attempting to bullshit him in any way whatsoever.
I know,
Okay.
but I'm correcting you. You guys decided you were never hired to kill Two-Buck Chuck. Afterwards, Frank Gruen then wanted you to take out the rest of the Iron Biters since you had already done a bit of it immediately. But he's like, so, you killed my boss. Then you go talk to Frank, Mr. Gruen. Then you work out a deal. What was that deal?
Oh, he wanted us to kill the rest of you.
Makes sense.
No. I don't think it does.
Well, makes sense for Gruen. He's high as shit all the time.
Yes, it does make sense for Gruen. But I can assure you that we never actually agreed to kill all of the other Iron Biters, as far as I'm aware.
All right. And he pulls the note out of the mouth and starts reading it. Oh. So he expected you to kill me and you didn't. So in his mind, you betrayed him. Yeah, that's Gruen. He's killed a good couple of people because he just starts fucking thinking everyone's after him. He's, like I said, he's high all the fucking time.
Fucking A right.
Yeah.
So, we, instead of deciding to find a way to stealthily kill you and your crew, because that's obviously suicide, decided to come to you with the information instead. We had been paying the Billhooks protection money, and they were the ones who knew where our hideout was. And I believe it may be time for a change of allegiance.
Agreed.
You know
All
we're
right.
useful. You know we have talent.
Here's the issue. I'm not wanting this information to really go public. And you all have been kind to me in the past by keeping my more tender moments secret. So I'll trust you with this. The Iron Biters are going legit.
I've noticed this place is quite...
Now, we certainly won't stand for violence against those that we hold dear, of course, being all the families are protected, what have you, and we will strike with furious vengeance anyone who tries to harm our fellows. But I won't have the pull that I used to when this thing goes. I still have a bit now, but what I can do is set you up in my territory and get you safe, get you secure, and then, well, I just won't have the resources for it. I have to at least be able to strike out on your own.
When you say, well, yes, of course. When you say set us up in your territory, what exactly do you mean?
Well, a safe house. It's where anyone, if one of my boys, I don't know, pissed off, punched a badger in the face, now the badgers want him dead, it's where I'd put him. Somewhere it's hard for them to find him. Somewhere it's secret. I got a few places tucked away.
Well, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
If you are letting go of your power, that's going to create quite a bit of a vacuum, is it not?
Well, in a way, it's more that I'm turning all the businesses I have legit.
All right.
Talking to the leader of the Badgers, I don't know, something he said, he convinced me I don't need this shit. And after talking to my wife, thank you very kindly for that. And he looks to you, Ebony, kind of nods. Well, I ain't got the stomach for it. But it's less that I'm giving it all up and more that I'm turning it into a legitimate business with a strong hand protecting it.
Well, I appreciate the offer of the safe house, but we do have one. Of course, we have more than one holding ourselves. We've been growing in power, too.
Oh. Then what is it that you need from me? Just manpower?
We were hoping you weren't going legit. I could say that when I walked in here, that's not what I expected you to say. But,
it ain't happening today. It's just happening soon.
I
You
think
understand?
one way or the other, our dear friends in the bill hooks are after your head. And I don't feel like Frank Grun is the type to stop just because you've gone legit.
Nope.
So we together have a mutual problem.
Normally, I would say that you have your problem and I have mine, but I do owe you a favor. Frank himself can be dangerous as fuck, but all the bill hooks, yeah, that's pretty deadly. I don't have enough bullets for all of them. But if you got a clever way to handle this other than all-out war, I'll hear it. But if it's all-out war that you need to crush the bill hooks, I could see our ideals aligning. One final war before I'm done.
I would prefer it not to come to bloodshed. It just always gets extra messy.
Hard to do with the bill hooks.
I know. But what is it that Frank Grun values more than anything else? In your estimation?
Well, I ain't much of a head docker, but I'd reckon he loves drugs.
Yes.
He likes women. He likes, well, men too, frankly.
Well, what is a primary source of income? Let me put this another way. What is the bill hook's primary source of income? Drugs, yes?
Drugs.
Right? So if we make the drugs dry up, we make the power dry up.
Oh, sure, you can start hitting his drug labs if you want. I'll know where they are.
We have some pull with the police as well. And I think this can happen on a couple of different fronts. But of course, it's much more credible if it's coming from you all than it would be from us, being that it's already gunning for you.
So you want us to take down his drug labs?
No. Well, if you want to try and take a few out, I want you all to be the face of the operation.
Oh, I see.
We're
So
not...
we'll take the credit and the heat for what happens.
Yes.
Well, I ain't scared of Grun, so I don't have a problem with that.
Provide manpower from time to time if we should need it. But I don't know that we should.
That's going to be a little harder. As I said, I don't know. I've been losing some of the allegiances of some of my men because of my decision making.
Of course.
Some people are starting to go their own way. But I can promise that if there is a point in time where you know that you will be in the same room as Grun, I can be there.
Of course.
But I don't want to risk all the lives of my boys.
Yes, so
But
let me put my mind to it and I'll come back to you with a plan. How about that?
All right. But as far as it rests now, you want me to start taking out essentially a lively operation of fucking up Grun's established interests?
Not until I give word go. I want to make sure we're well prepared beforehand. Acting prematurely may give our hand away.
You might want to talk to some of the other gang bosses about this too.
Yes.
Might make it a little easier for you.
It had crossed my mind.
Grun is not well loved.
No. And we are not purveyors of
Neither
vice,
was
and so creating a need in the market could help one of his competitors as well.
Yes. I would say you could talk to Psycho Billy.
Oh no, not if I don't have to.
Right, yeah, that's usually the I have the same reaction. I am allergic to that man. You could also talk to Mishka. You could also talk to leader of the Badgers, Snow.
I know Snow. Yes. Of those,
Yep.
we have a working relationship with Snow, so that will probably be the one.
All right. Well, then that's a deal.
All right.
I would say maybe do that. Could be a better plan, but if you got something clever up your sleeve,
Look,
I'll back your play.
they're coming for you, one way or the other.
I ain't worried.
I know you're not, but you're gonna have legit business to worry about here in a minute. And that means worrying about bottom lines. And that means worrying about your workers. And that means worrying about lines of supply.
All right, Snake Oil, you're making my head hurt.
I'm
get
just
it.
saying.
Look, I'm new to this business thing.
Well, here's
All
the
right.
thing. I'm not. If you need help,
Do you know what a profit margin is?
I surely do.
No, I could use your help.
Absolutely.
You know any good lawyers? Because I had a guy
absolutely-
come in here threatening to sue, and I broke his arms, and
Well,
now
that's
it's
not
like
the-
a whole thing.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about a lawsuit, so now I was just gonna kill him.
John.
That, John, yes.
He said some nasty shit about my mother, so I broke his fucking arm. Then he called me a cocksucker, so I broke the other one. Then he
All
shut
right.
the fuck up.
John, if you're going to work legally, that means you have to be able to work with people who talk shitty to you without breaking both of their arms. Or
I
you're never
know,
going to do
it's
business.
horrible.
Yes, it's the worst.
I guess I'd have to get really rich before I started doing that. Huh?
Yes, you'd have to be at the
Yes.
place you are now in our society, but in polite society.
And you gotta get there without killing them.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
you have to get there without obviously killing them. But
Yeah.
that's what we're here for.
You can't help but smile a little bit at that.
I find your ways distasteful, Snake Oil, but I can't help but like you.
Why, thank you.
So, go on, think about your business. I will handle my affairs here and make sure that the billhooks know not to fuck with my territory. And, it sounds like he wants an assassination, though. So I think we still have some time.
I agree that we do, but
Well, a week before he comes after you and me.
yes, correct.
But if he comes after you, you come on over here.
Oh, we
Make
assuredly
him
will.
work for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess that's it.
Excellent.
Ebony.
Yes.
He walks around the desk and right up to you, and he is awkward for a moment, and then he extends his hand because that's the polite thing to do. And he takes your hand and he puts his hand on top of it.
And he goes, I am not a man who is, well, knowledgeable about emotions, but it does my heart good to see you. Thank you.
Shall I give you to the room?
Nah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to keep y'all longer than I have to.
Anytime you'd like to get a drink, John, I'd be inclined.
You like whiskey?
I do.
I may be in touch.
All right.
All right.
Then he goes back over to his desk.
I got a bunch of fucking papers to write on.
We'll
So-
leave you to it then.
And he continues to look confused at the paperwork that's in front of him and frustrated. So, you guys leave, having warned John Irons. What is your next plan before I jump to the rest of the group? Where are you going?
I'd say we should talk to Snow.
I do think we should talk to Snow, but I feel like if we go any further, we have to talk to everyone else first.
The group?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
we can make any additional decisions on our own.
So there is
Yeah.
one problem is that there is no good communication in the world that you guys have. There was no
Yeah.
cell phones. So was there like sort of a like planned Jenga? Oh no, we fucked up. Like fallback point.
I would
assume maybe the
definitely have a
school-
series of drop boxes that I would
Oh, I
leave,
love that.
like blind
Drop
drops.
points.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the game in the game. You
It's
guys.
the game of the game. Yeah, I would definitely have a series of like blind drops where I would leave notes, and the notes I would leave right now are bar compromised, meet at school.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I will say that Victor definitely knows where to look. You'll definitely get that. You guys, we can figure out a way to get you guys there, Scarlet and Sparrow. So
Curtains are open on the bar, which we know.
And it sounds like bill hooks are in there. So nope. Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Victor, what's you see Scarlet and Sparrow leap off of a building, being chased by a swarm of bugs, and the people working for Mishka, the corvs, are just kind of looking at it. Ugh. And they start walking, and one of them starts walking around the house, and you can see that they are not going past the picket fence fucking at all. They don't even touch it. Instead, you can see that they are pulling out what looks like some Molotovs, and they are going to burn this house to the ground.
Well, bye, Brad.
Oh, Brad's not in the house. He's in his apartment. He's fine.
Right next door. I'm sure it won't catch.
Goodbye.
Oh, no, Frank.
Goodbye, Frank. Is the real
Oh,
goodbye.
I'll never be able to mentor him. Darn.
Yeah.
Well,
Fire bad.
well, Victor's gonna just give like a hand gesture, just like pause and hold off for a second, and he's going to actually scoop up Thessia's body and take her to the bedroom and kind of give her like set her down in the bed and kind of just give a moment of silence for her. Well, you were crazy, but you didn't deserve it. And then Victor's really not going to ransack the place. He's just going to leave it as is. And then he's going to, once he's out, he's just going to be like, do what you want, like wave off to them. It's like, do what you want.
Victor, while you are in the house,
when
you rest her body like that, as you make your way through the house, you do hear like something fumble from downstairs. It sounds like there is someone in the basement. Could just be the rats.
Could be the rats, but how many men did she keep torturing?
Could easily be that as well.
He's gonna look for like some kind of like maybe like a basement access or something like that.
Yeah, find it.
Okay.
It's a nice basement door. It's got a bunch of locks on it.
Oh, well, that's not hard. He's just gonna take a crowbar and just snap it all.
I'm the tinkerer. It's tinkered. There we go. So
subtlety is over.
Yep, you use the world's greatest lockpick of all time.
Yeah.
And get in. And it is stone steps leading down to what looks like a strange laboratory. Now this is more like your business. There's a lot of interesting alchemical agents down here. You can make probably a few different cool things with this. Things that you can come up with, things that I can come up with later, whatever you want. But if you maybe bag some of this shit, you can maybe have some neat concoctions later. And as you kind of are looking through this, there's a small wooden door that opens, or well, kind of a large wooden door that opens, and a huge man is just standing there, but he doesn't look like who are you? He's just kind of peeking out, like he thinks you can't see him, like he's
hello.
And he goes back behind. Hello?
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Frank.
I am Victor.
What's going on?
Something bad's about to happen, and I would probably say it'd probably be best if you're not here.
But I live here. And you hear glass shatter, and you're like,
Oh,
they started.
Yep. And that's the fire upstairs starting now.
Fire?
Yes.
Fire's bad.
Yes, it's very bad, especially with all these things. And Victor points to all the chemicals.
Some of these things explode.
I know.
That
I
one
know.
explodes.
Most of these explode, except for this one.
Oh, all right. Well, hold on. And he goes into his room, and you hear him just fumble. Ooh, like I just did. Fumble and break a bunch of shit, and he comes out holding what looks like a bunch of containers with dead bugs in them. And you see that he has a potted fluorescent plant, a radiant plant, like a beautiful radiant flower that he just has. And he's like,
is there another door, or is there another way out besides that one?
This way. And you hear more glass breaking and more fire, and you begin to see smoke coming down. And he goes over to another large wooden door and just kicks it because he has both of his hands, and the door just flies off of its hinges and hits the ground. You see sparks go around the entire door frame and like send lightning, but it hits him in the leg. He just doesn't seem to give a shit as it like electrocutes him like some sort of defense mechanism that she had placed, and it's gone. And he goes out into this like dark tunnel.
Okay, that makes it easier. And I'm just gonna take a bag, take a row,
and we can deal with that. Or you can, if you want to come up with weird shit later.
And then I am just going to bolt out because that fire is gonna build, and I don't have time to deal with it.
So as you go out, there is a way back out to the light. There is the tunnel that leads right out to the street. There is this gate that looks about kind of half open that leads to some other tunnel, and you guys kind of know the tunnel systems if you can get your bearings. And then there's this deep dark tunnel on your right. It looks much wider. It looks like the main actual thoroughfare for whatever tunnel this used to be. And there's something that tells you to kind of like you want to go down there. It's almost like your intuition is like, yeah, that's a good spot, like that's the right way to go.
I think I would have mentioned these tunnels to him because I saw them and then I went and got a lock.
Sure. Okay. So you kind of look over and we see Sparrow go. So there's a gate here and then there's a door here. Fuck this though. Fuck whatever that is over there. However, Sparrow. It's
So there's a tunnel here. I need a gate. I need a lock for this gate. It doesn't have to be good. There's a tunnel here. No. And then there's the door.
Fair enough.
So there you go. So you know the right ways. You can either go to the tunnels and try to avoid these guys, but they didn't seem to want to hurt you.
No.
Or you can go back out to the street and just lead. But Frank seems to be following you.
I'll lead. It's like, oh yeah, come with me. We'll try to get out of here.
He's just carrying a bunch of some shit's falling. Because, he's just like sloppily.
Victor's thinking like he'd rather not have whoever he is, even though I know who he's Frank. He would rather not have him interact with whatever is up there because he doesn't know what they will do to him. So just to be cautious, Victor will guide him out into the most far removed from the house as possible.
Okay, well the tunnel's not far from the house. You can't help but come out into the street.
Right.
But there's also that gated tunnel that you can go and you can just traverse the tunnels and make your way back to the bar if you want. Not the yawning tunnel, but the other one, the gated one.
Oh, okay.
The gated one.
Yeah, I'll probably go through the gated one and then it's not like I don't know how to lockpick my own lock that I made.
No, the lock that you made, I took with me. You noticed the chain that I had with it is on the ground.
Is on the ground and the gate is open. There is also what appears to be in the dirt drag marks going into this area. But Frank is like, all right, we can go this way. Sure.
All right. And then Victor's going to pull out a lantern and we're going to just go out that way.
Oh, fire bad. And he slaps it. No, I'm kidding. So he follows you into the darkness as you're like, okay. And you make your way into this dark, spooky place. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Sparrow and Scarlet. Sparrow, Scarlet, you guys are in the tunnels. You are making your way. Do you want to lead? Do you want to tell him where to go, or do you want him to take you to where he is planning to take you?
You're muted, first of all. And then I go, he...
I am?
No.
No, I didn't say anything.
Sorry.
But,
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you did.
No, I just like,
Thought. Gotcha. He already knows where we live.
You have to remember,
How'd you get in there?
Well, I just climbed in. Saw the window, pop up the wall, open the window, put in the shoes.
But how?
Well, it's easy. The way windows open is you open them up, right? My hands are sticky, so I can put it right on the glass, swing it right up. I got no fingertips.
Do your hands resist magic?
What?
Nothing.
Magic.
Oh, like wards?
Yeah.
Wards don't hurt me. They don't hurt him either.
Okay, but how?
That was the whole point of me. That's what I was trying to tell you. Fucking lachrymose. They made me for that shit.
Wait.
Pop in, I kill a guy, I pop the fuck out. Bob's your uncle. Clean as can be. Hard to keep me out of places.
Wait, did you say the lachrymose made you?
Yeah, did I not mention that before?
You did obliquely.
No, yeah.
Yeah, not...
Well, I went to them for a deal. They didn't make... It was more like my choice. I said to myself, Silk, you can be stronger, faster, smarter. So I went to this fucking cult, and I said, make me a badass. Well, I'm useful. But then they started telling me that I owed them, and I had to do jobs for them, and I didn't want to do it no more. I stopped.
Shit.
I think I know how to take care of filth.
Well, my thinking is we gotta fuck over the lachrymose. I don't think Filth is working on his own. I think he works for them.
I know, but he's the immediate problem.
You were already working on trying to find them. If you just keep going, find them, and fucking X-nay them, that might be the end of your problems.
Potentially, but what little I have actually heard of them, they're not so easy to just... No.
I have tried. Maybe, I don't know, you've got a team, right? You've got a group. I couldn't do it by myself, but maybe you all can do it. Wipe out the lachrymose.
Silt, do your lungs still work the same?
They're all fucking messed up. They got a bunch of goo in them. And he hacks his big horrible log on the ground.
How long can you hold your breath?
Oh, I can hold my breath for a real long fucking time.
Noted.
I don't think I need to breathe super well anymore. I don't know.
Good.
What? That's a weird thing to say. I'm not going in water. Fuck that shit.
No. We have a friend who's very good with chemicals.
All right.
I feel like we could treat Filth to a raid.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's a concoction we used to use. We called it raid. We cactus plant flowers. Okay, never mind.
All right.
We used to have a problem with ants. We don't anymore. They were getting too big. You ever been to... No, you've never been to Severos.
No, born and raised in Dunsville. Hence the name Silk. We don't get normal names here.
Is there a way we can buy time? A day with...
Yeah, he doesn't know where you live. I do. The lachrymose doesn't really know where you live. I do. You're real good at keeping people off your trail. It's when you're out about in the city that they find you. They're starting to learn the places you all like to go. They're starting to learn the people you like to be around. And I might know a few places you can start looking to really start chipping away at them. But I would like, I don't know, I think your whole team should do it. I don't think you two can do it alone.
With enough preparation, all of us can do anything.
Nope.
I meant together.
Oh, then yeah, maybe. Super not by yourself, though. Well, I think we're gonna be close to your bar soon.
And he starts heading towards a ladder and starts making his way up it. And pops his head out.
There's a bunch of people in there.
Are the windows, are the shades drawn?
No, they're open. There's a man helicoptering out one of the windows screaming. Oh, that's awful. I hate looking at that. Ooh. They are very drunk.
We should leave you here, but we are going to find another way.
You going to your school?
God damn it, fine. Let's go.
That's my job. This is what I do. I hunt people down.
I know all your shit. I know your name is Sparrow, but I'll call you the Bird. I know your name is Scarlet, but I'll call you the Red Woman. And it's my little fun.
And he starts making his way down the hallway, kind of laughing to
Scarlet,
himself.
and I'm just like,
fuck.
And then I look down at her cat.
The cat
Look
is
at Scarlet again.
the cat is still Ghost, and it's looking at a concrete wall right there, and it's just staring at it, and you see it kind of following nothing, and it's just like a wall next to you.
I'm going to attune.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Roll that business.
Risky standard?
I would say risky standard, yes.
I got a 4.
Okay. So, as you start, as you attune to it, because this is a mixed success, you can't quite, you see what looks like in the wall, there is something moving. Now, it doesn't move the brick, it doesn't move the stone. There is definitely a spirit within the wall, walking alongside you, following your movements. Is it hunting you? Is it just curious? Unsure. You can't read more than that. Are there more? Maybe. Sometimes they hunt like this. Sometimes they just are lonely. But there is an entity in there following you. It was what the cat picked up on, and is what the cat continues to pick up on. Something is trailing you. You've picked up a follower.
I'll lean down to the cat and say, can you lure it into the open?
And it goes into the wall, phases. And then you see it run back out. And as it runs out, you see what comes out of the wall. First is this like face with kind of those sort of glowing eyes, and the ghostly kind of apparition of a man who looks like he had drowned, as he is sort of like bulbous and swollen, as he just and starts lunging for you, Sparrow.
All right, I'm gonna put on the mask, pull out the knife, and go for his throat.
Okay, all right. I want you. I guess that's skirmish, right? Unless you have a better way.
I'm going for where he is coming out of the wall. I want my knife to already be.
Oh, I love it.
I'm going for precision.
Okay. So what would you use for that? Finesse. So you're just having it right out. So he runs into it.
Yes.
Okay, roll it.
Risky standard?
Desperate standard, because it's like a reactionary thing. You're like, fuck, and throwing it in there.
616.
Ooh, critical. So as he and kind of comes out of the wall, he runs through the knife, and you can tell it fucking destroyed him, because as he goes running, he phases through you. So he lost his physical, yeah. and he kind of just starts dissipating, and you're like, ooh. And Silt is turned around and he goes, oh fuck,
That's the one thing I'm not good at. Can't tell where the fuck those things are. Are there more?
Would you like to try to attune again? Or just make your way?
Big money, no whammies.
Do it. Attune that business.
5 out of 6.
Nice.
Okay, yes, there are more. Oh, there are more.
Now.
All right. Okay.
And as you start doing, the cat is like backing up, like because you activating him is starting to activate them, and they are all sort of getting ornery now. And Scarlet, you can see in the dark some of those like glowing kind of reflective eyes opening, and you're just and you can see out of the wall like some people start to like half kind of phase through the walls of the tunnel, making their way towards you. As now they're like, all right, jig is up, here we go. Like they can see us now, so let's do this thing, as they are all just actively going to hunt you. So was there something you wanted to do, Scarlet? I see.
Yeah. First off, I want to see if Ember can help me out.
How so?
Try to attack at least one of them. The one that's closest to us.
Okay.
Second, since I did take a devil's bargain way earlier on, is there a way I could do a flashback, spend a coin, and get some electroplasmic ammunition?
Yes. Sure. We could say that you probably had a conversation with Ebony discussing like, what's the, ghosts are awful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you would go about doing that, but sure. You spent the coin. How did you get this? Why did you decide to get this?
Just because not entirely sure where, but as for the how or why, it would definitely just be because even though Ember is there to help that sort of thing, that I need an extra defense just in case.
Cool. So you throw open your jacket and pull out your pistol, flipping out the like 2 regular bullets and pulling from like a small belt these bullets that have this sort of blue or this greenish sort of tip at the end, and slide them in. Your cat, do you roll for your cat, or does it just like kick ass? I feel like it just kicks ass. I can just make it kick ass.
Yeah, it doesn't really, like, there is a role here, but I haven't really, it just says expert hunter. I know it's something to do with cohort and...
For right now, let's just say your cat kicks ass, and then you can go ahead and roll for shooting these some of these pricks in the head. You get 2 shots with your pistol, but you have 2 pistols, so you get 4 shots. So you can just roll, and you'll say that we'll, depending on your rolls, how many...
Desperate standard?
Yes, and your cat fucking go ahead and roll, and your cat lunges at the first one, slamming onto its knee and dropping it down to the ground. Mixed success. So as it takes that one down, you sort of ignore that one as it phased through the wall. The one that's like half coming through the wall, you spot it and fire. The bullet slams into the stone, scraping through the stone and through the eye of the ghost, and it boom and kind of hits it, and it kind of falls back like and just kind of dissipates. They are not dying the way that they do from a Severosi 6-gun like John Irons has, but it's definitely fucking making them fuck off. So you fire at him, you start firing shots off as you slam into like the chest of another one that just and kind of disappears as they are evacuating and running. And you definitely are starting to hold them off as they are like approaching, kind of very zombie apocalypse style. As you're like, nope.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna book through the tunnels for the nearest spirit warden's place.
Oh, like under? You want to go under one of their places?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I can say that you do so as you guys like, all right, as you make your way down the tunnel. So I will say, Grimulkin, Ebony, and Victor. Victor, you're in the tunnels as well, but we'll come back to you in a minute. Ebony and Grimulkin, was there anything that you guys wanted to do right now, or would you like me to leave Victor to you?
In my mind, we're waiting for everyone else to come back at this point.
Okay. In the school, there are the 2 twins and that guy who has information on Merryweather, if you guys wanted to talk to them, but we could say that for another
Yeah,
time.
we're running close, and so let's...
Yeah. Okay, so Victor, you start making your way through the tunnels with your lantern.
Mhm.
As you do through the dark, you know where you're going. You know how to get back because you guys happen to have knowledge of these tunnels. And Frank is just following you, holding all this stuff. The radiant flower is glowing. And as you're making your way through, you can't help but begins to feel a little colder in the tunnel. It's normal. You're underground. But you don't really super know when ghosts are around. You don't have a sixth sense unless you want to attune just in case. Which you can because everybody can technically.
Yeah.
But I don't know what your attune level is.
None.
Okay, so
I mean, I could roll it just to see what happens.
yeah, just for the shits and giggles of
Or
it.
you
Throw
could
it out
not.
there.
Huh?
Or you could not.
You
'cause
could
it's roll
not.
2 dice, take the lower.
I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or you could.
I'm just
Or you-
gonna tune
or
for the
you could.
giggles.
Okay. let's do it.
So
Push
are we
yourself
doing?
to get 1 die?
What'd you say?
I could push myself. It's okay. It's okay.
Risky standard is what I would say.
Risky standard. All right, this can't go horribly wrong at all.
Hey! Take the lowest result, 1. So as your
they
eyes
both
go the
failed
wrong
anyways.
way. So double failure as you're like, wait. Nope, I can't. So what you actually did was trying to reach out into the ghost field. You have accidentally, let things know that you're there.
Ping, like the submarine.
Oh no.
And as you were walking with your lantern, you suddenly hear like up ahead of you. It's a straight hallway. Just it sounds like something is hauling ass towards you, and you can't see it. But the footsteps are getting louder and louder and harder, and you're like, because there's nowhere for you to go. It's solid stone on either side and kind of a tight, narrow hallway. And you back up and you back right up into Frank as he's just sort of staring, kind of confused. And the footsteps are getting louder, 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 louder. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna actually set up a Ghostbane ward because and I'll take a flashback for this.
Okay.
And what it is so I've been working with alchemy more lately, and so I had my flashback would be with Ebony.
Could your flashback just be to the lab?
To the lab, sure.
You just
I took something from the lab, and it's like I think I know what this is.
It was a witch's house, yeah, easily.
Yeah, it's like I think I know what this is. It looks like a witch's bane charm. Ebony and Sparrow kind of mentioned it, what they look like. We're gonna give it a go.
And so you hold out the charm in front of you.
Yeah.
So as you kind of like, and you're fumbling, the footsteps getting louder, 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 and you reach into your jacket of wonders, which has everything in it, and you pull out the thing that you just got and hold it in front of you. And as soon as you hold it in front of you, you hear the footsteps stop directly in front of you, and it becomes like you can see it from the Ghostbane charm as it reacts. And like face first and teeth first, you can see it, and it looks like this sickly looking man. And as he kind of looks around, and as because he's thrashing because he's pissed that you're holding this, you can see that he's got like a bunch of stab marks in his back, and but he doesn't seem to be moving from his spot. And he goes, "Put it away, put it away, put it away, put it away. Put it away. Put it away. Put it down. Put it away." As you have him just raving in front of you.
I'm gonna start advancing with it in front of me, and keep pushing him, and then so that Frank, and then eventually do it to the point where it's like we kind of just like pivot away with and I try to like push Frank going opposite, like going away from me, so that way I am holding the icon the whole time and just blocking this ghost from trying to reach us.
All right, he seems particularly vicious, this one. You can see as he's yelling at you, his eyes are beginning to be coated over in sort of that like blood red. Goes from that sort of tinge in blue to like this like reddish color that they sort of take, and you can see his like features becoming a little bit more predatory. His nature is his actions. As you're like, and you guys start backing up, and as you start backing up away from him, Frank turns around and he goes, "I think there's more." And he turns behind him, and you can hear like this sort of breathing, and he goes, "Oh, hold on." And he drops all of his bugs, and he takes his flower and puts it in his pocket on like his chest so it's glowing, and he begins to walk towards these noises. As you're holding off this like raving one, you look behind him and you can see what looks like those reflective eyes kind of approaching Frank. There's about 3 of them, and one of them kind of rushes and lunges at Frank, and it jumps on him and starts biting into him. And as it does, it kind of lets go and like and drops and like hops off, and then turns away from him and starts going towards you like it didn't want him. And he grabs it from behind by the head and just slams it to the ground as it and like dissipates, and then he just swings his fist into the other one, just and like making it dissipate, and then like Sparta kicks the other one and just fucks them off. And he goes, "Okay, they're all gone now. I had to drop my bugs.
Do you mind taking care of this last one?"
Okay. And this one going full red as you guys kind of switch places, it jumps at him. And as it does, you can see that it pulls from behind its back like a knife out of itself and starts stabbing him with it as he's like, and he goes, "Ow, ow." And it gets him like in the neck and in the chest. And he goes, "Stop that," and like slams it into the wall. It hops back onto him because it's ravenous. He picks it up, he slams it again, and he starts punching it. Definitely takes more hits than the other one did, but because of its like bloodlust. But at the end, he just boom and like slams it, and it just dissipates. And he goes, "He was being really mean." And he turns around. He's got a bunch of stab wounds in his body, his chest, and his neck. None of them are bleeding. And he goes, and he looks, and a couple of the petals have fallen off his flower. And he goes, "Oh no! Well, darn it."
"Well, come with me. Maybe we can let that find a home for that plant and you."
All right. And I will say we cut to him lifting like a manhole cover and just throwing it off, and like raising himself out and lifting you out of the sewer and placing you. And you guys look up at the school, and Gromolkin's probably just waiting outside on the front steps. I would imagine you like time is money. Where are you guys? Like, let's do this thing. And so you guys are just standing there. So out of the sewer pops Victor and some big, weird, large man with like scar running across his head.
"Sorry, we took a detour."
Hello.
What? I don't even. Where are Sparrow and Scarlet?
The last I saw them, they were running in a cloud of bugs over a rooftop.
Okay, well, I certainly hope they make it back. Come on, let's go inside and we'll meet a new friend.
Yes.
As you guys say that, I'm gonna have one of the doors to one of the houses not far off gets kind of thrown open, and you see Scarlet coming out, like brushing off a bunch of dirt and dust, and Sparrow
Victor,
coming out.
"Victor, I need you to make me grenades with gas in them." "Oh, hey, Frank."
"Hello, Sparrow."
"All right, let's go."
"Oh, you know?"
"Oh, Annalise.
What is happening?
Hello, Annalise." He thinks you're different.
Well, why do I need to make grenades again?
"Tie you inside. Let's go."
Yeah, I think you guys might need to know this.
And out from behind Scarlet comes a horrific, monstrous fly man.
"He's with us."
Right. Well, also just so everyone knows, I've been asked to make a lot of guns for a lot of people.
We don't need guns. We just need smoke grenades. Come on.
No.
All right, everybody get inside and we'll debrief together.
Oh, you probably need
Yeah.
a spittoon for him.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, and
Now I'll just spit on the ground.
Or no, out the window.
Please,
No,
sir.
no.
No, it's all. I don't mind. It's all right.
We mind. All right.
We might.
and he needs a place for his bugs and flour.
No,
Yes,
all my bugs
well,
are smashed.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
all right.
let's
Then
all
just
get
the flour.
inside. Everybody shut up. Just shut up for a second. Clearly a lot of things have happened and we need to talk through them all. Clearly we've met some new friends and we need to be introduced to them. We're not doing it out here on the steps of the goddamn school. Everyone
looks like
go
you had a good night.
inside and we'll figure it out.
In the middle of you,
All right.
as soon as you're done yelling, one of the blind people who lives in the building goes walking by you and goes, "No shouting, Mr. Grimalkin," and enters the building.
I'm
Because he
sorry,
doesn't know
Fetch.
what's going on. He just yells at you. As you just,
Scarlett's just gonna scoop up Ember and head right the fuck in.
they all head inside.
I need a drink.
Okay.
You and me both.
And as you guys enter the school from your very weird day, I will say we can end it there and pick up next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
very
it.
Good. So, you guys, there was no payment for this job. Obviously, the job ended a while ago when you handed in the bowl. There was getting rid of the wanted level, but you guys are no longer wanted. You have your clean slate when it comes to the heat and the police, actually, because I believe the wanted level replaces your heat. I can look that up later, but as far as I'm
It
concerned,
does.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Nice.
So you guys are fucking
Nice.
good. Yeah, so clean slate. You guys are fresh, and you have a big tray of jobs ahead of you.
Sweet.
Some
Too
of
bad we
which
can't do it.
the what?
We can't do any jobs. We have a lot of tasks.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
Many.
So we will pick that up next time. Thank you guys for joining us. This is Blades in the Dark. Don't forget to check out tabletoploot.com for dice stuff. Don't forget to check out So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. And ruinc.com for awesome fantasy maps, as well as Roll20. Definitely check out Roll20 because it's pretty fucking awesome if you're trying to run a game. It's very, very helpful for rolls and such. And let's go around the room. Can you guys tell us who you are, where we can find you, and if you have anybody that you'd like to give an extra XP for tonight, apart from your normal 5, anybody that you want to get 6, let me know. Let's start with Kay.
Hey, I'm Kate, better known on the internet as Undead K. You can find me at Twitter at K_undead, handle below. Let's see some stuff that I'm doing. Starting soon, I'll be playing a Call of Cthulhu game here in the next... Oh goodness, I think it starts next week.
It does. We just finished the overlay today.
Yeah, and the overlay is amazing.
Yay!
So yeah, it's great. Other than that, also on a play-by post that is sometimes from time to time posted on the Welcome to the Party Discord in the Players Wanted channel. Should definitely check it out. And yeah, this has been great. I think as far as extra XP goes, I'm gonna actually give it Sparrow. Because all the little things like I'm gonna hang out here and do this. By the way, here's the drugs. Here is the, bag of rats. That was just brilliant.
Bag of rats was fun.
Bag of rats.
Yeah, that was
Bag of
smart.
rats. Bag of rats.
Very good. And Bison.
Hello, my name is Bisonic Kevin on the Twitter. You can find me mostly on the Discord. I spend a lot of time there. And I run a Tuesday game at 8 p.m. called Riffs, Blood, Dirt, and Chrome, where Evan and Throck are 2 of my players, and weird, fun, intense, emotional, action-packed, explosion-filled dating simulator.
I think that's very fair.
It's a great game. Yeah, and so that's pretty much all I got for right now. I'm going to say Grimalkin doing the most Grimalkin-y thing just going to John Irons for a deal. Like, and being like, oh, I'm not going to be able to bullshit you, so here, let's work together. And I liked that a lot.
I like that you offered to help him with his paperwork. I love that. Like,
that was a good
I can help you with the whole like actual professional side of your business. Huh. Like I had not thought of that. You know what I mean? That was good.
I think that was perfect.
Yeah. Very cool. And Death by Mage?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage. You can find me all over the internets at Death by Mage, and you can also find me on the DM's Guild for all of the wonderful D&D content, such as Artifacts of the Guild, Journey into the Feywild, the Jubilexian Slime Race, because Slimes Want to Adventure 2, and you can also find my indie games on deathbymage.itch.io. And my nomination for tonight is definitely going to it's going to be to Ebony, actually. For that wonderful little short scene with John Irons.
Very cool. Very cool.
Chat liked that scene a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Chat liked it.
Chat liked it a lot. You know, we would have had another
The chat ships it.
Yeah, the chat ships it, and then there was another ship that got shortly ended, like within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I killed your almost witch girlfriend.
I'll just deal with her ghost later.
Yeah, it was just one of those like, oh, there goes talking to her out the window. Bye.
It's like, oh, well, okay.
Hey, her ghost can come and find him.
Yeah, this is getting awkward.
You let me get shot. You saw him and you let me get. No.
What's the Victorian era version of swiping right?
Dropping your handkerchief.
Bicycling past.
There we go.
Throck?
Hey, my extra XP goes to Victor, for just taking all of the abuse tonight. And just like having to deal with so much random shit. Like, not only does he have to sit through a torture, he has to sit through somebody getting their head blown off and like just deals with it. And then like ghosts attack and just deals with it. And then like talks to Scovelin agents who are like, we need you to make a bunch of shit for us, just deals with it. Right.
Just comes outside, friends are being chased by giant bugs, whatever. It's fine.
Deals with it. Yeah. And that it's just because of everything that Victor went through tonight, he gets mine. Yeah, I'm in a lot of stuff. The big thing is premiering Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern is Blood and Shackles, our new Friday night D&D game, set in the world of Thea, where if you do not know that world, it's a 7th world. It's one of my favorite worlds on the planet. We're going to be giving away a player's handbook and 3 sets of Neptune's Fury dice from Tabletop Loot over the course of the evening. So you should come on by and check it out because we have some awesome characters. It's going to be a good night. I hope as our party is going to start off press ganged in a ship, and that's going to be the start of their new campaign, is them all having been taken captive and forced to work for someone they don't want to. So it's going to be fun, I think. And then, of course, you heard about Rifts and, of course, this. And then on Saturdays at 3:45, I play in Queens of Ven, our mouse guard game. Mises. We are little Mies guards. Yar.
Mises. Nice. And Crystal.
Hello, people. My name is Crystal Fear. You can find me at Crystal_Fear on Twitter, at Crystal Fear on pretty much everything else. I'm still working on music. It'll be out eventually. My freaking files keep getting corrupted, so but you know, shit happens. I'm going to give my extra XP to Sparrow just because the rats was awesome.
Very good, very good. And hello, I am Evan. I'm Evan Jennings64 on Twitter. I'm Zombie Love Bruce on Instagram. I play in the Rifts game that Kevin runs. You really should watch it. It is fucking awesome. And if you've never heard of Rifts, watch it because he does a good job of showing what that system is. It's fucking bonkers, crazy. That's awesome. And I also run this game every Wednesday, as well as I run a game every Saturday in my home that I put onto a YouTube called Beyond EMH, where I put all my D&D shit, where I run an evil campaign. Yeah, I think. I heard Sparrow twice, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give it to Sparrow for that. My vote was Throck. You definitely hit my second choice, which was Victor, because of the same thing. He's my favorite punching bag. not to hurt physically, but to make him bear witness to horrors. Because when Jackie brought me the character, he said hurt him, like whatever, fucking. And I think that this is a good way to hurt him, just run him through the ringer of sorrow. But I think I really liked Scarlett, your reaction to a crazy situation. You see a bunch of flies, dead body, turn around, fly man. Nah.
That was a great one.
You know what? Nah, I'm not. I haven't even had breakfast today. I'm not doing this shit. Like, you were done, and I loved your reaction to it. His badass hitman, and you're like, oh, fuck this. So, so Sparrow, you'll get 6. Everybody else gets 5 XP. We will start next session with you guys discussing, with all this crazy shit that's just happened, what your next move is in the city. What are you going to prioritize? So then I guess that's it. Have a good night, everybody.
Sweet! We're going to go raid our dear friends at Variant Roles, who are playing some, it looks like, tabletop RPGs. Not specifically Dungeons & Dragons, it says. But we're going to go do our thing. You should give them a ton of love as we head over there. So we love you all. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow for Millennium Nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, bye!
Goodbye!
Bye!